this amazing like guitar build-up. Like it's a super cool song, but may not be one that everybody knows.
All right.
Yeah, man. So we've got the Viper here. We've got the game launched for the players. I think they're just waiting a few moments to get things going. We'll jump into spectator mode here.
Are you not inside?
Oh, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm already 2:35 into the game. I was wondering when you were going to start casting.
All right. I guess I had a little bug here to start, so I will launch it again. Sorry about that, guys. And we will show you the screen. Weird, weird. Okay, man. Well, you've seen the map, Mr. Viper. What do you think so far about this one?
First, I just thought we were doing the Nilly likes to just keep the overlay on, right, for the start until something happens.
Okay.
I thought we were doing that, but... All right, so, I mean, first we should probably mention the civs.
Yeah, of course. We've got, let's first just say semifinal, bracket number 2. It is MBL versus DauT, Killer B Arabia Cup. The winner will go on to play the Viper in the final. This is Killer B, and I'm joined by the man himself, the Viper. Thanks for joining me, dude.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me. So yeah, we have DauT with slabs, which is an amazing civ in my opinion. I really, really like them. While MBL is has drawn Japanese, I would say none of the civs calls for a restart just because of civ matchup. So I'm expecting both of them to play it on. I don't know if you're completely caught up yet, but
yeah, I'm at 4 minutes, so I'm just about caught up to real time.
Okay.
Sorry for the bugs here, guys. Foobly just crashed on me. We've got 4 Vils on wood for MBL as the Japanese. He's playing in the green trunks on the bottom of the map. I will tell you that he's got 2 back gold piles to work with, a wood line in front of his TC or above it, and stone and berries forward. Easily pushable deer patch for MBL, but MBL isn't pushing deer. He's forward trying to lame DauT, and he's actually camping out on top of DauT's boar right now. So we could see MBL get a little bit of lame in here in the early game.
So he might see the scout though. Oh, he sees the scout, so he knows what's happening now.
All right. DauT's paying attention. DauT is loomed up after all, and he's going to wait to lure in that boar. DauT's got a boar on the other side going around the top of the TC, but he'll drop it just fine. MBL's stealing that boar.
Boar is running.
DauT.
So DauT is also lacking 2 sheep, so this could really hurt for him in the long run.
Yeah, DauT here playing as the Slavs is probably happy with his civ, but he has not found 2 of the sheep, and now he's chasing MBL Scout, which he's not going to catch up to in time to try to get his boar back. So a disadvantage early for DauT. Sorry for the early hiccups, guys, but we do have things going now, and I guess we have a moment for me to ask you, Viper, who do you favor in this series? Who's got the better chance to take this one home?
I think it's going to be really close. Right now, MBL is a way higher rating than DauT, but DauT tends to be a little bit sloppy in casual games. But I know for sure that DauT is taking this real serious. He's really motivated to win this tournament, so I'm expecting him to put in a good performance. But in the end, I think, honestly, the civs might have the final say in who's going to advance because they're so close in skill level.
I don't know if either of them were watching earlier, but we were watching, and Tato was really excited about your decision to try to re at 1 minute. He was saying, since the rules of the tournament are you have to use your veto when the person rees, he said reing right away is really smart. So maybe we'll see that from these guys. But yeah, props to you, man. That's really clever.
Yeah, I figured, I mean, I scouted a little bit of my map in that game. I didn't have any backwood. My gold was forward, and I was Turks against Incas. So I figured, all right, let's just force it right away. If he vetoes, which he might do anyway because of the civs, then so be it. I'd rather just try before he gets to scout if he has a good map himself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. And Hera, immediately seeing that you did that, did the same thing to you in the next game. So I think that tactic could be used for the rest of the tournament. But I don't know if DauT and MBL saw it because DauT was talking about, will he be able to wake up in time for 14 GMT? So he probably wasn't studying this morning.
Yeah, unlikely. DauT's fully walling his left side of the base now. He's taking deer to compensate for the boar loss. He still didn't find those 2 sheep. So, I mean, the good thing for him here is that he's slabs, so that slab farming is going to help him catch up a little bit again. But still, missing a boar and 2 sheep is really painful for your early economy.
Yeah, and that's kind of the double-edged sword of MBL, who's such a good lamer. Sometimes you give him too much credit, and you just assume, okay, I'm missing my boar, which I saw him steal, so he probably stole my sheep. And DauT seems to have given up on scouting.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, but, you know, DauT may find his way over to the sheep after all. After I kind of said that he might have given up, he certainly doesn't look like he did. He's going to find those 2 sheep now. So there you go, DauT. As you said, MBL has gone up. He's up on 21 Vils. MBL on his side in the green has a couple of militia rolling forward and could go for men-at-arms, though I didn't see his gold yet. Yeah, he's got a couple Vils on gold, so he could go men-at-arms here. DauT is full walling, and DauT is clicked up to the feudal age on 24 Vils.
Yeah, so the interesting thing here is that MBL went for both double bit-axe and horse collar first, and is not investing into men-at-arms yet. He's adding an archery range. Oh, he's on the TC, man. DauT is not reacting. What? Okay, I don't know. Okay, so... Oh, okay, quick balls from DauT. Never seen that before, but...
Okay, yeah, that was a trap all along from DauT, wasn't it? Maybe.
You want to give him the credit for that, then sure.
DauT will wall MBL into a very small little corner, and MBL's not getting out of there. Those militia are not going to get the job done. So we may never see the men-at-arms upgrade for MBL in this case. DauT drops a stable immediately. And DauT has finished chewing through the deer patch in the north. He's got those sheep under his TC. I think DauT, after a rocky start, is somewhat stabilizing this game.
Yeah, you can see as well what MBL, like once he ran straight past the TC, he immediately started men-at-arms. But as he realized he was trapped again, he canceled it, so... Good by MBL to not let that finish, but again, DauT's stable. He's going scouts of 25 pop up. That's usually always a really bad thing. While you might have a good economy, your production is going to be so far behind your opponent. But at the same time, with the fact that MBL's Drush is pretty much doing nothing, I think he can probably get away with it.
Yeah, DauT at the moment with a rocky start, getting things in order. MBL seems to have an archery range down to follow this up and some archer production going, but it is a one-range build for MBL so far. MBL's militia have done really next to nothing, but maybe he can poach one scout from DauT before those units are all dead.
So, it's looking like DauT's micro is some point for once in his life, so probably not. But the interesting thing is you can see how DauT, how he's walled. He's walled. Put in a lot of effort into walling everything, but still, if you look at the top, he has 2 holes in the wood line. So he really needs to identify that. I'm not sure if he's seen that already, but that can really come and bite him in the ass later on.
Yeah, especially if MBL sneaks some of these archers that he's building forward. That would be a really great place to get in. But here you go. DauT's listening, man. DauT hears you. He's going to drop down.
Sniper.
Oh, boy. So, Viper, how do you see this game shaping up, considering that DauT has stabilized his rocky start? Slavs versus Japanese. We're going to transition from feudal archers and some scouts pretty soon into more Castle Age ready units. What do you foresee as the best option for these two guys?
Still think it will kind of depend a little bit how the feudal age plays out now. DauT's gonna, like, this is just the first time he's over at MBL's side in feudal age. So he's gonna have to scout what MBL is doing, and when he sees the range, he might drop his own range to add skirms. He's already dropping a range right now. But like MBL's map is really open. He's not finished the wall yet, so he's still vulnerable to scouts. But as you said, in Castle Age, it makes sense for Slavs to go knights, right? Because they're farm bonus. But at the same time, knights might not be the ideal solution against Japanese if he can just mix in a couple of spears with crossbows.
DauT's coming forward with his own spear, and by my count, Viper, we got 5 spearmen out for MBL. MBL's got a lot of spears here for the early game.
Japanese spearmen as well, so they pack an extra punch.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be ready for DauT. DauT's coming in with those 6 scouts. Those scouts are not going to be upgraded at this point, but Bloodlines is on the way for DauT, so soon he'll have a little more HP to work with.
Quick walls, quick walls. Oh, he got in, he got in. Yeah, this is really dangerous. Once that Bloodlines kicks in, he can start fighting the spears. And MBL doesn't have fletching yet, so those archers really don't do anything to the scouts.
Yeah, MBL's in a little bit of a corner as DauT kind of pokes and prods around. Maybe DauT can poach a Vil and get a little bit of an advantage. Both guys are grabbing wheelbarrow now. DauT's on 200 food, 150 gold. MBL is doing better on food and gold. And here comes DauT to engage the spears.
Yeah, DauT will probably just keep running around trying to harass where he can, because he cannot really take a straight-up engagement. But I do want to point out something interesting with MBL's build here. He's going only for 1 range. Okay, he's adding a 2nd range now. Yeah, I was curious about why he would stick with the 1 range for so long. Probably more of an eco focus because he knows DauT is fully walled. But like at the same time, you always want to have that archer mass. I don't think it would have slowed him down by more than maybe a minute, and he would have had like 5-6 more archers by now. So, but yeah, different playstyles.
Yeah, MBL going for the range a little later, and I guess he's going to favor a little more eco. DauT is now creeping his way up toward the castle upgrade. MBL will probably click first. MBL is trying to herd those scouts with all of these spearmen running around, and he will get a little damage in with the archers, but it looks like MBL might not go for fletching here before trying to click up to the next age. So saving that resource to get up a little faster, possibly. DauT's got a few skirms ready. But ultimately, after a little bit of flirtation, Viper, nobody's really gotten any advantage in this game yet. Is that true?
Yeah, I agree. MBL is going for a third range now, so he's going to be really piling out those crossbows and castle edge. I reckon he might do fast university, fast thumbering and everything, because his map really isn't great for TC and booming, right? So I kind of expect him to just get all the army upgrades to try and push the advantage early in castle edge, just because of how exposed his base is.
Yeah, MBL on the way to castle. That third range is very interesting to watch, and we will see if he brings those spears together with some archers and maybe gets out of there. Lots of house walling, lots of work done by MBL to wall in this map. We do see a stable coming up on the bottom corner of the map as well.
Very weird positioning for stable, but I guess he just wants to hide it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that certainly will be hidden from DauT for a while. DauT's skirmishers come forward with fletching in. DauT can start harassing MBL's woodlines a bit. But of course, both guys are starting to transition toward the next age. DauT has interestingly added in a second range. He's going for double range skirms. I suppose he knows about the triple ranges from MBL, so he'll be ready with skirms.
Yeah, with that in mind, the stable from MBL is can be really smart because he's doing Bloodlands as well. He'll definitely add a couple of knights into the mix, and as soon as he has a few knights in, those skirms don't do anything. Unless DauT's add his own knights, which he probably will, but maybe not initially.
Yeah, man. And for now, we've got a bit of a stalematey moment, so I'll just quickly reintroduce this. We started a little bit crazy because I was having a Voobly drop there, but this is Killer Bees Arabia Cup, semifinal 2, DauT versus MBL. The Viper won semifinal 1, and now he's here to co-cast semifinal 2. Whoever wins this match will go on to the grand final versus Viper. The loser will go on to play Hera. Go ahead.
I just saw that MBL is actually going Cav Archers. That makes the stable make more sense as well, because he just won on the Bloodlands for the Cav Archers. But honestly, I feel like keeping crossbows and adding a few knights might have been the way better solution here.
Yeah, for now, MBL's keeping about 8 archers inside of his base. He's not upgrading those, as you said, going straight for the Cav Archers with Bloodlines, +2/+1. DauT's going Bodkin Arrow and Elite Skirm, so DauT can probably deal with this, and a couple of knights for DauT as well.
Both of them dropping an extra TC as well, so economies should be fairly similar. MBL did drop University though, so he's... I don't know if I agree with that investment this early when he's going Cav Archers, because he's not going to have the numbers where ballistics do too much anyway. So a little bit strange for me, but we'll have to see. Yeah,
we'll have to see. And if you don't mind, Viper, can you pause for like 15 seconds? For some reason, Voobly's not letting me catch up to real time. I'm still 15 seconds behind the game. So I'm at 24:05 right now.
Then I need to catch up a little bit.
All right.
What are you at right now?
24, 17, 18, 19, 20. 24, 20.
Keep counting.
23, 24, 5, 6. Yep. Thanks for that. Always hard work casting. I do see the extra TC from MBL on the front, and I do see siege work coming down for him. So what do you think here? I mean, DauT is already kind of pushing the front of MBL's base, annoying him with some skirms. MBL doesn't have another wood line except for that newest TC, so that TC is really pivotal, I suppose, to MBL's position.
Could you do a quick count one more? I think I messed up again. I
sure.
paused too much. Just tell me where you're at right now.
I'm at 25:20.
Okay, we're pretty much similar then. All
Perfect. Good. Yeah, sorry about that. We've got Japanese versus Slavs. Both players have traded a few blows, but the villager count is 47 apiece. We got a third TC coming for DauT on the front. DauT's got elite skirms. How is this game shaping up for you, Viper? Who's a half a step ahead here? Is it DauT or is it MBL?
I think if you look at take a quick glance at their bases and look at their economies. If you look at MBL's economy with the farms and everything, it looks really, really not like consistent and well set up. Well, you look at DauT, he has farms running, everything's looking nice. MBL just dropped the market and bought a lot of resources. He had like 800 gold banked. So just looking at the way they're set up their economies right now, I would say DauT is looking way better when it comes to that aspect. But still, military-wise, MBL is going to have a lot of potential with the Cav Archers as soon as it starts massing them.
Yeah, we've seen DauT full wall himself early. MBL has yet to penetrate those walls here in the Castle Age. DauT for now chasing MBL around with Bloodlines and +2 defense on his Knights. So DauT's couple of Cav Archers, or MBL's couple of Cav Archers, are unable to land any damage so far. But the economies continue to expand. Maybe MBL can get a little bit of advantage here with those CA. But he's losing all of his archers on the bottom of the map, and those CA are running around kind of aimlessly. So it's been a little bit of a rocky Castle Age for MBL. DauT should be able to parlay this advantage into something. The question is, what is the plan going to be? All those farms, maybe an earlier imp for DauT? I'm not quite sure.
I reckon he might play heavy Castle Age with a lot of Knights here because of the Slav economy. He already killed like all the archers, like you said, and he also killed a couple of Cav Archers in the top. And when you're looking at MBL's map, that does not look like a map that's safe for raiding, right? All the wood TCs are like behind the forests and downhill from the trees. So like if he puts down a siege workshop, puts down 2-3 more stables and spams Knights, I don't see how MBL holds this unless he switches into heavy pikemen.
Yeah, so far, DauT is continuing to invest here, spending a little bit more resource on Knights. Did drop another stable, does have a forward siege workshop coming. DauT's got a couple units in the top of the map that he's going to bring back into the fray. DauT's actually got a lot of Knights just kind of standing around, but I think he'll bring them together. And like you said, those town centers look like easy pickings. But for now, MBL is sitting on top of the hill, Bloodlines with +2/+1 on his Cav Archers with a couple of Mangonels, but DauT's running in for the Mangoes. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, the issue here for MBL is he doesn't have the mass yet where he can like one-shot a Knight, so these trades are even very good for DauT, especially with the 15 skirms coming behind that can get some arrows hitting right here and there. It's really, really looking good for DauT right now.
Yeah, DauT's running in with those Knights. They are starting to get weakened a bit. He did grab one Mangonel, but not the other. But maybe more importantly, DauT will get the top of this hill, and now MBL's TC will be under a little pressure. DauT's still sitting in the south with a couple of Knights. He might activate those soon for a little raiding. But for the moment, DauT continues to flesh things out. Resource-wise, MBL has no food really in the bank, no gold in the bank, but a castle could be coming soon for MBL, maybe to defend that front area. DauT is about the same, spending a lot in castle, but looking for a castle of his own soon.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen here is MBL is going to try and drop a castle on that hill where his Cav Archers are patrolling right now. He might lose a Mangonel. He's a little bit out of position right now. And he's sending bills. He's going for the cast now. I'm not sure if we're synchronized still.
Yeah, we are. Perfect. Okay, no, yeah. We're great. And MBL is making a big, risky play here to try to take over that hill. But it could be terrible for him. And there it is. Well, MBL can't win the hill. He can't find a way to get some traction here. A really clean early game, or not a clean early game from DauT, but a good stabilization from him, and DauT gets the win. Viper, you're the expert, man. Sum up this game for us and tell me what you think.
Indeed, DauT's early game was a little bit awkward with the boar lame and the late sheep, but I think he adapted well to the missing sheep and placed down more farms in Darkish than normal, and also he went for the deer, so he was able to kind of stabilize with all the walls, so he took no damage early on, and he just carried through the Slavs economy towards the end. MBL's map was really bad, we gotta mention that. But I still question a little bit the Cav Archer choice from MBL. Right now, like even if he tries to drop the castle, DauT has Mangonels, he has Knights, Skirms, he would never get the castle up. And DauT was actually dropping his own castle with one villager on the left side. A little bit of awkward position, but yeah, it didn't really matter in the end. But yeah, it's just better map for DauT for sure. Really bad map for MBL, but DauT played the civ to its strengths and yeah, carried it home.
Wonderful analysis. That is a beautiful way to end this one. We will jump out of this game and get immediately ready for the next one. MBL and DauT are ready to launch, and let me know if you launch without me, Viper. I've been having a little bit of issues today, but DauT with a pretty decisive win, man. He woke up, I suppose, 5 minutes ago, but he woke up on the right side of the bed.
Probably, yeah. So the game is launched with me right now.
Perfect. Me
Did
as
you
well.
get in?
Yep.
All right. Perfect.
Wonderful. So let's do a proper intro this time for you guys. It is going to be the Killer Bee Arabia Cup semifinal, second semifinal here of the day. It is MBL versus DauT. This is coming at you live. I am Killer Bee, and I am joined by the winner of the earlier semifinal, Mr. TheViper. How you doing, man?
Hey man, thanks again for having me. We're in game 2, as you said, with DauT and MBL. And looking at the civilizations right now, We have Teutons for MBL and Portuguese for DauT. Very, very interesting civ matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And people will be reminded, I mean, it doesn't really mean that much, but in the last 100 games, Teutons have not treated MBL very well. He doesn't win a game in the last 4 tries, but, you know, that's just the last 4 times he had it. Teutons and Portuguese are both kind of, to me, bottom of the barrel civs, Viper. Does either civ have an advantage here that you would consider reing out, or do you just play this one?
I think it kind of depends on the map situation a little bit, but like personally, I think Teutons, they are a pretty good civ in general. They have a good bonus with the cheaper farms and stuff, but people just dislike them because they're so immobile, right? The unique unit is a slow Teutonic Knight. They don't have husbandry for their knights. They don't have thumb ring for their archer range. So it's just like, while they have a good economy and everything, it's just these things that people love to play with good military and all of that stuff. And Teutons don't fill those boxes. Portuguese, on the other hand, a lot of people think they're trash. I personally think they're a little bit underrated. But that's my opinion. I know pretty much everyone else disagrees with me. So,
well, you just started playing the game, right? So what do you know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I do think if you look at DauT's map right now, he has 2 thick woodlands on the sides, which is also always great. And he has a back gold, which is a little bit blocked by the forest, but he can definitely pull out some interesting strategies with a back gold like that.
Yeah, and we talked about, Tato was talking about DauT being motivated, and you were talking about DauT being motivated to win this one. DauT's pushing deer, so DauT is motivated. I mean, if he's going to go the distance, look at how hard of a time he's having pushing that deer right now.
Can we have some DauT lures in chat, boys?
MBL.
Sure, someone has to emote. Oh, well, DauT can veto.
Okay.
Wait, oh, vetoes. Wait, but did MBL call before 4 minutes? Like did he try to be cheeky and write re at 3:59 so DauT doesn't have time to veto before 4 minutes?
I'm not sure. These guys should have paused the game for the re-veto situation, but I'm at 4:15 paused, so confusing.
I mean, like, MBL didn't pause. He rolled re at like 3:59, right? So he tried to get the re out there for... Yeah, DauT's complaining that it didn't pause, which makes sense. Else you can just abuse that, right?
Yeah,
right,
totally.
Re at 4 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll have to consider that as we go on, but I'm still loving the DauT deer push. Oh, the DauT lure. MBL wanted to re here as Teutons. DauT wanted to veto as the game would have shaped up with a play on. So fortunately we are playing on. At least we didn't have the error of guys ending the match. But yeah, okay, so we're going to play through this one. You introduced DauT's map pretty nicely. He's got a couple of nested resources. He's pretty safe. MBL is forward to try to lane, but I don't think he's here in time to stop DauT's boar. On MBL's side, the green player is going to have a way back stone, back gold, back berries, a wood line off to the right side with 3 villagers on that wood. So MBL's map here, I think, is somewhat defensible, but not super great. There's some holes here that DauT could exploit. So Teutons versus Portuguese will be the case, and I don't know, maybe MBL is going to try to have to find a way to win after DauT's veto.
Yeah, I have a feeling MBL might feel a little bit tilted now and might just go full YOLO towers. This is Teutons as well, and I know he doesn't like Teutons either. So he also, like, the main reason I think this is because he brought in his second boar while he still had like 170 food on his first boar, which implies that he really wanted that food fast, and that could be for a really fast up. But right now I'm looking at his town center, and he's queued up 2 more vills, so the tower rush is looking unlikely. So we might see scouts coming from MBL here, but I'm not sure with DauT's map. I'm not sure how much work those scouts can get done.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. DauT has a very defensible map, but we'll see. DauT is sending 2 villagers out to the back gold now. DauT will drop down a barracks as he still waits to click feudal. DauT is going to have 21 vills soon, and then maybe loom, and then maybe men-at-arms, but we'll see. MBL on his side, he's looming up on 21 vills. MBL's going over to Stone Viper. So
indeed.
Yeah, it could be an interesting like forward barracks tower play. Is that what you could foresee here, or what do you think?
Well, it's sending 4 vills on stone right now. Like, it will all depend on how many vills it sends forward. Like, Teutons have an advantage. They can put 10 villagers inside their towers. It seems like he's sticking with 6 though. But he's walling in his resources. He's definitely like, he's gonna have a good run for this. Normally, if you go tower rush, you just don't care about your own base because all the action is gonna be over at his place. But MBL is playing real safe right now, walling in his villagers, and if you look at DauT's map, where DauT's stones are located, MBL has scouted the main stone, but it doesn't see the second stone. If he had known where the second stone is as well, he would know that all he needs to do is take control of those two, and he's going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, MBL is he is on his way forward. We will see him with 6 villagers, as you said. Scouting, as you mentioned, he can see DauT's main stone. DauT has an extra stone pile that's still hidden in the fog of war. MBL is going to get here in time, maybe actually to deny DauT's walls if he wants to. But it looks like he'll actually go the long way around the horn and try to get a sneakier play into DauT's back area of his base. I would be very surprised if MBL gets too deep in here without DauT seeing him, because DauT is already quick walling up a little bit more. MBL laming some resources on the front, Viper. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it. I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point, but it's always going to be annoying for DauT when he finally goes for that gold in 35 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. MBL playing for the late game. Still 4 vills on stone for MBL. Here comes the first tower. First tower position isn't super aggressive, but I guess it's a pretty good launching point. And like you mentioned, DauT's, both of his stones could be a little in jeopardy. Certainly that first tower takes away DauT's stone.
Indeed, and that's the whole purpose of the first tower. It's just to have like a starting point to tower from, and just to have like create the chain reaction of towers. Because that's how towers is successful. Like if you only have 1 tower up, it does nothing. You can villager rush it, you can send army, but if there's a chain of towers, you can never like properly engage the towers. I would have liked to see MBL's next tower honestly go down towards DauT stone, because he's doing it right now. That's why I wanted to see the second tower. Because if DauT can't take the second stone, the only way he can counter tower right now is to buy resources. And that's never a situation you want to be in.
Yeah, so DauT will have a defensive tower to try to keep his wood line safe. DauT has a wood line on the left side of the map, so it's not going to totally cripple his economy, but MBL is going to be the aggressor here. DauT will be kind of playing a little bit defensively. First scout from DauT is built. Initial scout from DauT is coming home, so he may try to push this situation when the time is right. But at least for the moment, DauT can slow the bleeding with a defensive tower. Archery range coming for the blue player as well. Okay, Viper, do you think that this is going to turn into an advantageous situation for MBL, or do you think he's kind of getting a little bit pinched off by DauT's quick walling or re-walling, right?
I would love to be in MBL's situation here. He's gonna win the tower war because he has an extra villager in the tower, right? And also he has the hill advantage. I'm not sure if that actually matters for towers. And MBL is reinforcing with 2 more vills that he's gonna garrison. And the main thing here is MBL is controlling both stones of DauT. So this tower rush is going to keep crawling in closer and closer and closer, and DauT will have no answer. DauT, however, is dropping a market. He has a stable and a range, so he has pretty much every tool available to him right now. He's trying to counterattack with some scouts, but then again, MBL's base is looking real safe. So I'm not sure if those scouts will do anything.
DauT hasn't scouted too much of the periphery of the map. There isn't too much for him to grab on the left side, but there is an extra gold pile just in case you guys are wondering about what DauT knows. His scouts are going to head toward MBL's base, and as the Viper said, there's not a whole lot to be grabbed here yet, but maybe DauT can dive in on this back wood line or something. I don't see a spearman in play for MBL, so maybe DauT can get something done, but it's just 3 scouts. Another defensive tower from our player in blue, Mr. DauT. MBL is coming forward. He'll get the hill, and he'll get 8 villagers forward. DauT's first archer is out, and we'll see if DauT can slow MBL's tower here a little bit.
I'm not sure about this tower from MBL. I mean, he seems like he's microing very well. He's dodging all the arrows with the villagers. So he's doing a really good job here getting the tower up. And like I said, like once the tower is up with Teuton's towers, you're going to win that tower war. There's no chance you're losing the tower war. So DauT's going to be really under pressure here.
Yeah, absolutely. DauT is transitioning into a couple of archers. He wants to try to find a way to stop the bleeding. DauT's main gold is still safe, but MBL is creeping ever closer. The berries are now GG for the moment for DauT. DauT is transitioning everything off to this left wood line, and the scouts from DauT, they continue to roam around, and now MBL has somewhat walled them out of most of the damage. Continuing to wall up his wood lines and tower up his own side is MBL. MBL is ready for another tower, and I suppose we'll see that right now as soon as he wants to drop the next one. I suppose it's going to be closer to DauT's gold and TC this time?
It will depend on where he wants to go. He doesn't know about DauT's gold in the back yet, right? If he knew about that earlier, he would have gone there immediately now. But I reckon once he sees the tower up... I mean, MBL does have fletching, so he could potentially try and tower down DauT's tower, because DauT doesn't have fletching yet. But I do think the tower rush is just going to continue creeping around to the bottom side.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, DauT, without fletching, will sneak out a couple of archers to try to get a little bit of counterplay. DauT is powering up a blacksmith, so I think he does want to get fletching very shortly. DauT just waiting on a little more food to afford it. For now, DauT still has gold economy on this left side of the map, but if he loses that area, it could become a pretty dire situation for him. DauT's couple archers here may get in some damage, but MBL has dropped a few towers at home. There isn't a lot here for DauT to pick off.
Yeah, and MBL will for sure put a second tower on the gold as well once he sees the archers. And the good thing here for MBL is with the Teutons, you get those 40 wood farms. And you can see he's already got a really good economy. He's already kind of looking towards Castle Age. And you couldn't do that with any other civ. It's just the Teuton's farm bonus there, showing its worth.
MBL getting another tower up without losing any villagers that I've seen. He will put pressure on DauT's newest tower like you might have expected. DauT without fletching there and obviously with fewer vills in the tower is going to have trouble. In the meanwhile, MBL is still nicely walled up on his own wood line, and he's even going to drop a nice little defensive tower there just to be proactive to push DauT away. So DauT's got some problems on his hands. He is going to expand to the south, Viper, and take this stone in the middle of no man's land, or rather gold. And it seems like it's kind of necessary because he is probably going to lose his main gold here at some point.
Yeah, honestly, I think DauT, he should realize those scouts he has right now aren't really going to do anything. He should use them, scout the whole map, try to figure out where the extra resources are, and expand to them. Because right now, like I said, he has no way to stop the progression of MBL's towers here. So he really needs to like if he located the stone in the bottom, it's still like all the way to the bottom. He could have like transitioned and at least taken stone to make a tower a little bit later on. Right now he bought another 100 stone to try and repair the tower on his gold. It's like it's such a terrible spot to be in when you have to constantly buy resources like that.
Yeah, absolutely. DauT kind of abusing the market here early. MBL on his side is very close to clicking up to the next age. MBL leaves 6 villagers on stone, so we could see more towers, or we could even see a castle early on in the castle age. For now, MBL's diving in really deep toward DauT's tower. Interesting play.
I honestly think that's just a misplay. The gather point for the tower was there, and the tower got injured enough so the villagers got sent out, right? So that's probably what's happened here.
Yeah,
if
now
DauT was really on top of things, he could have balled them in and just killed all those 8 vills, 7-8 vills.
Yeah, DauT will get a couple vills there, and definitely some form of a blunder from MBL, unfortunately sending his villagers right into the fray in front of DauT's tower. I thought he was going to rush it down, and I was confused at why he would make that calculation. But I think you're right. I think it was just low HP on the tower. MBL is still quite fine, but that was less than ideal. Both guys on their way up to the castle age. MBL still without a stable or an archery range. DauT on his side does have a stable and an archery range. So as we transition to castle, DauT actually keeps his main gold. I'm surprised by that.
Yes, indeed. I think MBL was probably looking somewhere else when that happened because, like I said, there's no way you should lose a tower war with Teutons when you have those extra villagers. So, yeah, that was unlucky for MBL that he was looking away at the wrong time. But at the same time, DauT was with archers on his golds. So I assume that's where he was looking. You can see he placed a second tower there now to make sure that's safe. But transition-wise, DauT is dropping a forward stable here. So he wants to try and harass those exposed gold mines on the hill.
Interesting. Yeah, DauT will have double stables. MBL will take stone in the middle of DauT's economy, and if we're looking from MBL's point of view, still no stable, still no archery range, still no barracks even. At least if my hotkeys are still correct. MBL is planning on a castle, I guess, but he needs a lot more stone.
If you look at his gold miners right now, there's 11 gold miners. Either he's going to use those to buy the remaining stone for a castle, or he's going to do a monk rush now from the location of the towers. I'm not sure which one I would prefer, but I assume it's going to be monks, and then you will always take the stone to drop a castle later on. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses. That's why he doesn't have a barracks or a stable or anything, because he's going to either do a castle or a monastery.
Well, let's see what the plan is from MBL. All of a sudden, MBL floating a ton, an absolute ton of wood. Looks like he might have bought some wood up there. We will see a TC down in MBL's economy. We will see a monastery in the defensive part of the map for MBL. So MBL is going to turtle up a little bit here, at least at home, and boom some. The villagers on the front continue to mine stone. We aren't seeing new towers yet from MBL there. So MBL is gone with the defensive monastery play. Do you like that play, Viper?
I do. He probably realizes that there's going to be pressure coming here. So, and also that there's probably going to be knights. So it's a very good reaction by MBL.
3 TCs for MBL. DauT is still going to be on the one town center for the moment. DauT has 2 stables down and night production going, and also a forward siege workshop with a couple of rams on the way. So DauT is going to be hot and heavy and invested into putting down some damage. MBL is going to basically, after landing a couple punches in DauT's base, he's going to just kind of bide his time and try to boom up. So we'll see how this one develops as the Teutons player starts to pull out to a villager lead in this case.
I think MBL realizes as well that he is actually ahead in economy right now, and DauT's position is very awkward given all the towers in his base. So he's probably expecting DauT to not have the TCs and do the military. What I would like to see from MBL now is get a university, get those tower upgrades, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on that hill.
Yeah, we've been seeing the tower upgrades really a lot now in the pro level games. I mean, that seems to be, and there's that university you wanted coming up for MBL. That seems to be the new meta. MBL certainly with so many towers here that it's a great investment for him. So we'll see. We'll see Bodkin Arrow coming and probably the tower upgrades as well. MBL continues to stake stone inside of DauT's base. DauT continues to have both of his stone piles taken away from him. But DauT is farming nicely. He's building up a good number of knights, and now the rams are unleashed, and they're going to run into MBL's position.
MBL did have an outpost there, so we knew the rams were coming. And the good thing here is he's Teuton, so he's going to have murder holes for free. But he doesn't have the resources for guard tower yet. And honestly, guard tower here would have been so sick.
Yeah, guard tower. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's debating the knights kind of with his monks, so his villagers can take the rams. But it's not looking too promising right now.
Yeah, DauT is really gaining some traction. Those 4 rams have taken down the first tower. MBL is doing a good job to jump in and out with his monks. He'll have to drop a few more defensive towers because of this. Monks should Wololo away and grab some converts. Those monks from MBL are out, and we're going to see a couple conversions coming in, and this could be the end of DauT's ram push.
Yeah, if he gets 2 or 3 knights there, he can just focus down the ramps, and he should be fine. But honestly, I think MBL is making a big misplay here. He queued up more vills instead of doing guard tower earlier. If he didn't do that, he could have afforded guard tower now, and guard tower should honestly have been enough to hold this push. It's such a big boost in how strong the towers are.
Yeah, it's interesting. You and I saw those knight conversions and thought, okay, the rams are going to get cooked. But DauT still with 4 rams alive. A lot of them are on low HP, but those are going to get out of dodge for the moment. DauT's knights and rams taking down 3 or 4 towers, slowing MBL's economy. MBL on 3 TCs has yet to pull out to a villager advantage versus DauT, who's still on the 1 town center at home.
Indeed, MBL is now transitioning into double barracks pikemen. He's probably expecting the pressure to keep going, but it looks to me like DauT is going to slow down. DauT's moving villagers on the left side to try and drop another town center, I think. I think it's just randomly scouting for wood because he wants to do a TC, but there's no wood anywhere near at the moment, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, economy-wise, MBL is definitely pulling ahead, so he might not know it himself, but if he realizes, he's in a really good position this game.
Yeah, it seems like the one thing that that you were mentioning earlier that continues to bother DauT is his lack of scouting. He did have some scouts that were not able to get damage. He doesn't know too much about the left side of the map, the top of the map. All he really knows, he's out here scouting with villagers looking for wood. So all DauT really knows is the center of the map, but he's going to continue to flesh out his economy. Light cav on the way. MBL will get guard tower now, maybe a moment later than that initial engagement, but it does still look to me like a very stable position for MBL. Despite having to play through as Teutons, I think he's in a good spot.
Indeed, and there are 2 monks converting on the right side now. He might get both knights. DauT was able to pick up 1 knight, but he did give 2 was able to pick up 1 monk, but he did give 2 knights to DauT for free, to MBL for free.
Yeah, man.
The interesting thing here was DauT did light cav upgrade, and he also queued up a siege, a battering ram in his forward siege workshop. But he changed, and he made a siege workshop at home and queued up the battering ram there instead. So his next move now is going to be to try and clean up the towers in MBL space.
And he might be a little too late because MBL has finally mined enough stone for a castle drop there.
Exactly. This is not what DauT wants to see right now. He's preparing to just like force MBL to have everything at home, and then he's just going to send his knights and everything back to try and take out the towers. And now when that castle goes up, that forces his hand, right? He has to go now.
Do you think that castle is in the right spot?
I like it. It's going to reach the main goal of DauT, and that's what the aim is.
That was my question. I didn't know if it would reach that main gold, but that castle goes up. It's 50% of the way up. DauT is trying to prod his way in. The guard towers are focusing on the knights and not as much on the rams, which is probably what you want in this situation. Castle's 70% of the way up, but the rams are already here. Let's see. This could be the moment that wins or lose the game for MBL.
Indeed, what MBL needs to do right as soon as the castle goes up is he needs to instantly repair it, and he needs to start targeting down the knights with the castle. He does have murder holes for free as Teutons. DauT is actually pulling back. He's trying to debate the Wills to jump in and out on the other side. So MBL needs to repair. He's making Teutonic Knights to take out the rams. If he needs to focus the rams though. The Teutonic Knight is going for the knights, and that's a big misplay right now.
Yeah, MBL's castle is under pressure. It is already on 1,000 HP. There's a lot of rams here. The Teutonic Knights are out, and they will focus some of the rams, but it might be too late. 600 HP on the castle. That number continues to slow down. The Teutonic Knights are getting mopped up a bit. DauT's rams are down to 2. This is going to be really close. MBL can also run out of stone here, which could be a real problem.
The fun thing as well is DauT's TC is actually the thing that's cleaning up the Teutonic Knights. His town center is what's saving the day pretty much.
200.
The castle will go down.
It's down. Okay, well, there you have it. Castle goes down, and DauT's rams are Johnny on the spot to get things done here. The villagers will dive back into the towers. MBL's position doesn't totally fall apart. He's got a good economy at home and such, but that would have been a cause for DauT to think about GG if that castle stays up, don't you think?
Indeed, if that castle goes up, stays up, that's the game, pretty much. But
yeah.
The thing is, at the same time, while the castle went down, MBL knows that DauT made such a big investment for this. So many knights, light cap, so many rams, that even if all these towers gets cleaned up, I still think he's gonna feel super comfortable with his position.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's that DauT has not lost the game yet, and not that MBL's cooked. But we'll have to see. MBL back at home on 92 Vils. As you said, he hasn't been spending quite as much on his military as DauT, so we may see MBL come back strong quite shortly. But DauT for now with some good momentum, cleaning up his own side, going to win back his own resources. Not really too concerned about the berries, but that main stone and secondary stone will be a nice thing for DauT to have. Our player in blue has 3 TCs, and he's expanding his economy out nicely. And this game is going to shift into the Imperial Age here shortly, Viper, with MBL with a bit of an advantage, but what can DauT do to come back in this situation?
Well, first off, DauT is adding archery units now. He's transitioning into what seems to be crossbow and soon to be arbalist. So he's making a counter unit to what MBL is going for. MBL is still making more stable barracks to counter the knights, while DauT is transitioning away from that into the counter unit of MBL's. So it will all depend now how much MBL can do with the pikes he has and whether he can realize that transition soon enough. His economy is, of course, way ahead. DauT still unfortunate. He has a 3-tile gold right to the left of his town centers at the bottom that he hasn't seen. So he really wants to scout that and take control of his 3rd gold as well in front of his main town center to actually afford this crossbow transition. Because right now he doesn't have much gold income at all.
Like I said when we were chatting before the game, I was hoping you would suck at this, Viper. I wanted to be better at you at something, but great analysis there. We continue to roll through this game with you making me look bad, but really good analysis.
Dude, it's team game, man. Casting is team game.
Well, I got a good teammate then. Yeah, I got a good teammate.
So as do I.
Okay, so MBL's still towering up at home. He's still trying to defend his own side. Scale barding armor is on the way. 800 food, 400 gold for Mibble. Blue player DauT has already clicked Imp, and as you said, is transitioning into ranged units in the form of crossbows for now, probably soon Arbalest. A couple relics for DauT, 1 relic for MBL. MBL's going to have handcart, he's going to have the better eco, but DauT will have a couple minutes advantage in the Imperial Age. And I guess we'll see this game shift to the next phase in just a moment. Just to remind you guys, this is the 2nd semifinal of the day. Mr. Viper, our co-caster here, won the first semifinal versus Hera. Hera will switch to 16 GMT. He'll play the loser of MBL versus DauT, and the winner will play against the Viper at 18 GMT. DauT continuing to clean up the towers on the right side from MBL. Do you think it's time for MBL to get these villagers out of here, or should he just leave them to grab a little more stone before they die?
I think what MBL is doing is very clever here. Because he keeps making towers, he added a barracks there to try and hold this position. Because as long as MBL has this position, DauT needs to address it, right? It forces DauT's attention still at his home base, so DauT cannot use anything to attack MBL. And honestly, MBL can sacrifice those villagers, those units. It doesn't matter for him. This is just to buy time for force DauT to invest into defending. I think it's very, very clever by MBL.
Yeah, MBL is making the best out of a bad situation. He's making lemonade out of the lemons he's been handed here. Teutons versus Portuguese. He didn't want to play this game. DauT vetoed him and made him play. Now it's guard towers all over the map. It's MBL continuing to be a thorn in DauT's side. Still controls DauT's extra stone. Quite good annoyance from MBL. But DauT, as we said, is now up to the Imperial Age. We will see Ballistics, Capped Ram, Bracer coming from DauT. And as you said, DauT continues to focus on taking MBL's towers down. He's not going forward toward MBL's base. MBL will be imp before DauT cleans all of this up.
Indeed, and as you see, MBL did a clever little sneaky guard tower on DauT's third gold as well. And DauT doesn't seem like he's realized. He's losing villagers on the gold now. And yeah, he still hasn't reacted to it, so... Very clever tower again by MBL. Very reminiscent of Vivi, in my opinion, his playstyle right now.
MBL channeling his inner Vivi, doing everything he can here to win this game. Going down 2-0 would be a real problem for him, so of course has a lot of incentive. Bloodline's coming for MBL. He's going to continue to beef up his cavalry. We do see many stables down for MBL. Lots of knights coming. I believe it's 6 or 7 stables for MBL back at home. So MBL continues to annoy DauT, continues to be a thorn in his side. Imperial Age is coming. Does not seem like we're going to see a unit transition from MBL just yet. But DauT should have a good number of archers at this point. And he should be able to keep upgrading that archer line.
Indeed, the issue for DauT here is he's dropping more ranges and he's transitioning to elite skirms. I'm not sure his thought process behind that. I think, honestly, it's pretty obvious to me right now, if I was in DauT's shoes, that MBL is making the cavalry switch. So DauT needs to like get out the counter for Cavalier, because it's very obvious that that's what he's gonna go for. I'm quite surprised that DauT is actually making skirmishes here and dropping more ranges on top of that.
Yeah, DauT's dropping more ranges, and he's got about a dozen skirms already on top of this hill, so he's waiting for something that is not going to come his way. So maybe MBL is tricking DauT here by just not being tricky at all, just sticking down the cavalry line. But I guess we'll see. For now, it is Ring Archer armor coming. DauT is just now grabbing Handcart. MBL's economy has been bigger and better for a long time, and I think MBL is going to lean heavily on DauT very shortly with the Cavalier upgrade just completing.
Indeed, and DauT didn't do Arbalest yet, so while he has about 30, 40 crossbows, they're not Arbalest yet. And that is such a big upgrade in this situation.
Yeah, the ARB upgrade just beginning for DauT as he starts to lose his extra gold here on the side, and things are going from bad to worse for DauT. After a really good early tower push from MBL, DauT continues to sustain damage. The win conditions for DauT are starting to decrease a bit. Spent a little bit of money on elite skirms, and that's certainly setting him behind. I do hear a couple monks, but not nearly enough.
Yeah, it's a single Wololo guy there. It's not going to do too much. DauT's queuing up Spearman from his single barracks right now to counter these Cavaliers. Not sure how much that's going to help him, but yeah, DauT as well. Like, the thing also that towers early on from MBL did, it forced DauT to expand everywhere, right? He's so exposed now to being raided by the Cavalier because of actually, yeah, his economy being all over the map. And he doesn't have the mobile units to defend either, so very, very good transition by MBL here.
DauT is on MBL like white on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm, as they say. And DauT just has no... the only thing left for DauT to do is GG here, right? I mean, I don't see any way.
F4, yes, indeed. It's looking rough for DauT. He realizes as well, I'm sure, at this point that his population is down to 110. He knows he's already in a tough spot, and there we have it.
Very interesting. In a game where DauT used his veto and MBL tried to it's actually MBL getting the win after not really a YOLO tower push, but a very strong tower push, a very invested tower push, and eventually MBL follows that up with some knights here, some Cavalier to finish things off at the end of the game. So the scores will tie up 1-1. Do you have any final thoughts here, Viper, on this matchup, on this game?
I think you gotta give MBL very good credit for his strategy there. It was a little bit lucky that he found the second stone as he moved around to try and get inside DauT's space. But like DauT was playing the super safe. He was walling in super early, and he still wasn't able to stop the tower rush. So good job to MBL. But also, DauT doesn't have a veto anymore. That's very, very important as this series continues.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, DauT, you obviously want to win the game where you use the veto, and well, DauT does not grab a win in this particular case. We'll jump out of this game and prepare ourselves for the next. Just going to quickly update the scoreboard, and we'll be ready to go in just a second again here with the Viper. So yeah, all right. So 1-1 now. Maybe these guys will tire themselves out, Viper, and they won't be ready for you in the grand final. What do you think?
Let's hope so. I do think actually last game DauT, like the Portuguese is an awkward civ. If you could choose between Portuguese and Teutons, I'm pretty sure most people would go Teutons. But I think the reason DauT vetoed alone was just because he had those 2 woodlands on the side and the back gold, right? The issue is you often see yourself blind on just looking at, okay, that's amazing. Like I have this big back gold and all this nice wood, but he didn't take the rest of his map into account. So yeah, you got to be careful with seeing yourself blind on those types of resources. Then gold is not always the most important resource in the game.
That's a really good point. And, you know, DauT interestingly chose Staying Alive as his hype song. And that game was all about staying alive, but he just could not quite hold the important parts of his map. I thought DauT had a shadow of a chance when he denied MBL's castle. I was really surprised that MBL never got to DauT's main gold. But hey, MBL did enough damage, got the win. Let's play a quick bit of Staying Alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Oh, and now we're ready for the next game. Game number 3 coming at you guys right now. And thanks to Ali for some biddies, and I think Margaret as well just a moment ago. Thanks, guys.
Oh boy. I think DauT is going to regret that veto.
Okay, interesting. MPL will get a re with the Vietnamese versus the Burmese here, and MPL using that re right away, and using the strategy we saw the Viper using earlier. Pretty obvious re situation there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, especially given how DauT doesn't have a veto anymore. It was pretty obvious. You don't want to play Vietnamese against Burmese. Especially, I mean, if I'm looking at the maps as well, I think DauT has an amazing map as well on top of everything, so definitely a good re by MBL.
Yeah, and I just want to let DauT know that the veto does refund. So MBL will have 1 more re. DauT has 2 more re's, but DauT doesn't have a veto there. Obviously, getting out of Vietnamese versus Burmese is a very obvious choice. And in retrospect, if DauT had not used his veto, like you were saying, he would certainly veto that position, making MBL play through as the Vietnamese.
For sure, especially when you have Burmese yourself. That's probably maybe the best 1-1 civ right now, along with Malians.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of vetoes coming in from Vietnamese, and we've seen a lot, or rather, vetoes coming in when you get the Burmese, re's being asked for when you get the Vietnamese. The next game is going to launch here again, guys, and we will see if this one does play through. Let's jump in now. Oops, looks like I did not get in. All right.
Boy. Oh man, I'm laming board already. What? Oh, I wish you guys could see this. Oh man.
Killer B hosts a tournament, doesn't even bother watching the games. Let's try again for the launch, guys, and we'll have it right here for you now.
Hopefully we get in so we are synchronized as well.
I am in now, and I am 1 minute behind. I'll speed through until I catch up. Looks like I'll be 17 seconds short. I don't know why it's not letting me speed through the last 17, but we'll deal with that in a moment, Viper. First, tell me what you think about Ethiopians versus Celts here in game number 3 of the lower bracket semifinal.
It's a super interesting matchup. Both they kind of play out similarly with strong siege and halberdier and all that stuff. But economy-wise, they have different bonuses. Celts, of course, have the better wood chopping, while Ethiopians get the food and gold as they advance through the ages. So it's going to be interesting to see how they plan to decide to play these civs. I honestly don't know which civ I would prefer. I think they're both very equal, and I think neither are disappointed with their civ this game.
Yeah, in this case, I guess if you don't get any resources lamed and nothing bad happens to you like losing a vill, maybe you just hang on to the re. But we'll see. MBL in the green trunks on this game. We'll have the Ethiopians. His map looks like he's going to have a couple of nice woodlines to work with. Gold off to the north for MBL. Behind MBL's TC will be a berry patch. It's an extremely wallable map with this cliff on the right side and the woodline on the front. So maybe MBL can defend himself pretty nicely. Ethiopians kind of incentivize you to want to go for men-at-arms, so maybe we could see that from MBL, but who knows? On the other side, it will be DauT. DauT sending 3 vills to wood, luring in his boar. DauT has a couple of nice wood lines that give him some structure as well, but if DauT walls himself in with those wood lines, he's not going to have a single gold or stone pile inside of his little base. So not super ideal for DauT, who is sending a 4th villager out to wood. Guys, I'm joined as a co-cast today by TheViper, and I just wanted to point that out again. Your voice is obviously recognized by people, but just figured I'd let everybody know. We're in game number 3 of a best of 5.
Indeed, and like you pointed out, Ethiopians, they kind of hint towards man-at-arms, but then again, when you take DauT Civ into consideration, usually you don't want to go man-at-arms against Celts, because if they have one more man-at-arms, they outrun you, right? So you have no way of escaping. So it's going to be interesting to see if MBL chooses to go for man-at-arms. Likely we'll see MBL switch into crossbows / archers at some point because of the Ethiopian bonus. But it's also super easy for Celts. Oh, DauT's villager on the board. Oh, he's going to lose the villager. Oh, he failed. DauT lure, boys. Oh, man. Yeah, I just want to get that in there.
Yeah,
and he's missing. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. This is just my normal behavior when I watch DauT play.
He almost had a villager block, you know, instead of scout blocking or sheep blocking. He almost saved that vill, but DauT was, I think, busy looking on MBL's side. He was camping MBL's boar and waiting to maybe try to lame a vill there from MBL. So a little bit of a blunder, or quite a bit of a blunder there from DauT, even dropping his boar out away from the TC. So not ideal, again, for DauT in the early game. Last time he stabilized it, but this time could be different. I guess we'll see.
Indeed. I don't know what happened there if he clicked, because his villager ran past the mill and then it went straight up instead of continuing towards the TC. So I'm not sure if it was just normal villager pathing or DauT actually misclicking. But yeah, very unfortunate anyway. But you can see the way DauT is already building his house. He's preparing a wall up because he's going to build the wall down towards the stone in order to secure that gold line. Actually, a little bit weird barracks, but it's fine. But like I said, they both have very good wood lines. They both have ways to make their maps pretty good in my opinion. The only awkward thing I see for MBL is that hill in the front. It's if he doesn't control that hill, he might have a tough time. But yeah, in general, both of them have maps they should be happy with.
We are well past the 4-minute mark, guys, so just to remind you, we will no longer be able to see or rehear. These guys are going to play this one out, and somebody is going to go up 2 games to 1. Of course, best of 5, so this series will not be over after this match. And I suppose it's also worth mentioning that... what's worth mentioning? I lost my train of thought. It's worth mentioning 16 GMT will be the next set of matches between Hera and whomever loses this set.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think MBL has ECL games today. I'm a little bit curious how he's going to work with that. I don't know if they actually need him. I mean, they only have 4 players, right? So maybe I can play the 3v3s and the 2v2 1v1 only, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll make it work one way or another. But yeah, of course, big things going on right now in Age of Empires. Lots of tournaments shaping up and early qualifying rounds of different things going on. I think we're really lucky. Can you believe, Viper? I mean, honestly, can you believe that this game is as big as it is? Considering 2 years ago we were like kind of going a little bit lower in people playing and lower in viewership and stuff. I mean, it's great, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite surreal how it's kind of developed over the last 1.5 to 2 years. It's really sick, and I mean, we're super happy about it that this game is still going as strong as it is right now.
Yeah, man, we're really lucky. I mean, you've been spearheading that, but we've had a lot of great input as well, keeping the game alive from guys like Mem and Zero Empires, and the list goes on, MBL included. There was a long time there where MBL was kind of carrying the torch for players. But okay, enough about reminiscing about what could have been. Our game is alive and well, and this game is heating up. MBL will be feudal age in just a moment on 21 vills. DauT, after losing a vill, will be feudal. 1 villager behind on time, but of course that villager is not going to help DauT's economy. MBL is full walling. He's going men-at-arms. DauT on his side of the map did full wall, and I do not see any military from DauT.
It's looking like double range skirms for DauT. He already walled himself full in. I don't like his wall though. Like, honestly, the barracks should have walled down, like with the barracks down to the stone and the forest there, and then with the deer to secure that gold. Right now, his gold is so exposed. I don't like that at all, but still, he's fully walled. I don't think he's going to take much damage here. He's going to get some skirms out. He needs to wall off, though, sending 4 villagers to react to those men-at-arms. A little bit of an overkill, but rather safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, DauT has been playing this this series of games really cautiously, and 3 vills end up coming over to this side, which will be more than enough to wall his opponent out. I just wanted to let you know, Viper, that I'm 20 seconds behind game time again. Not sure why that is, but I'm just 20 seconds behind. So I'm at 12 minutes even right now.
Okay, same. The issue for me is that it speeds up by itself, right?
Okay,
Even though I paused, it speeds up naturally anyhow.
I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I, for some reason, cannot catch up for the last 20 seconds. It's weird.
Well, I guess it has to do with the fact that you crash and don't get in immediately. I could try and rejoin and see if I get the same thing, so we're synchronized.
I think it's probably fine, man. I wouldn't worry about it.
I'll do it anyway. I'll be...
All right. All right.
Let's go on.
Cool, cool. So I got rid of the Viper Cocast. Thank God. Finally, a chance to talk. DauT is continuing to quick wall this side. The Viper was right about the skirmishers coming out. For now, it's one range. DauT may add another soon. DauT is moving over to his gold on the left side, which he will need to do some work to take if MBL does get some ranged units on the map. But for now, MBL's follow-up to that men-at-arms push is nothing. It's just walls and it's booming. So MBL back at home is not going to have archers anytime terribly soon.
I'm catching up, so you just got to keep going.
Yeah, no problem. MBL continues to try to put a little pressure on with these men-at-arms, but DauT is fine to defend himself with those skirms. Good walling from DauT, good play from DauT after losing an early Vil. He has once again stabilized his position. He's still behind in this game, I would say, but at least DauT is going to have a better chance than if he continued to blunder things. Blundering one Vil to a boar, obviously a big deal, but DauT can recover. His economy is a little bit less good than MBL's, but other than that, life is okay for DauT, who's grabbing wheelbarrow as we speak.
Okay, I've caught up now, and I'm also stuck 20 seconds behind now. So
okay, perfect.
That's perfect. Good stuff.
Yeah, we have to give 20 seconds so that the broadcasting censors can make sure we don't say anything too crazy before it goes live. Okay, so MBL continues to try to push in on DauT, but he's not getting in with those men-at-arms. DauT has decided to basically disregard those units and send his skirmishers forward. No upgrades for DauT yet. It's going to have some trouble getting any damage in on MBL with the skirms, but both guys are pretty much booming and going to the next age. So, Viper, who do you give the advantage to at this point in the game?
It's a little bit tough to tell. I have a feeling MBL might go stable. No, he's doing a range, okay. Like, I would have liked to see MBL just sneak a stable in there, go fast castle and drop a few knights and then transition to crossbow. But he is adding a range now, so he seems to be going for crossbow himself. I think MBL is really happy with his position. He's going to get a smooth fast castle. Those 3 men-at-arms are keeping DauT, slowing down DauT enough, so MBL gets a completely untouched development here. I don't see those skirms breaking in anytime soon either, without fetching and stuff like that. So yeah, I would be very comfortable with MBL's position here.
Yeah, I'm on board with you there. DauT still has a little bit of an issue with his gold there, especially once MBL does get some ranged units out on the map. Castle Age is clicked for MBL. DauT will be just maybe 20 seconds behind. Not a big difference. But for now, go ahead.
Look to the left side. DauT. The villager was stuck on top of the blacksmith, so it never built. DauT's gonna be slowed down now because the blacksmith.
Okay.
I don't know if you caught it, but the villager was like standing on top of the blacksmith for at least 30 seconds.
Okay.
So now he can't click Castle Age because he's slowed down.
That is a real bummer for DauT. That's gonna slow him down.
Yeah, indeed. It really hurts actually. Those 30, 40 seconds can actually be. There's a lot of time window there for the crossbows to do things.
Yeah, and in this game, if MBL can come and harass DauT's gold, it could be a really powerful moment for him. Of course, he's got 1 man-at-arms still alive, so you could maybe still help push that gate if that unit survives for a little bit longer. DauT's skirms are in the middle of the map. I think DauT might be trying to intercept MBL's units as they come forward. DauT's just camping on this hill.
Indeed. The thing here though for MBL is, while he got this super fast, nice fast castle, he doesn't really have the military now. He only has 4 or 5 archers. And yeah, that's not going to really do much early game. So I guess they both will switch to economy, 2 TCs right away. DauT will probably stick with skirmishers because he's expecting Ethiopians to play with the crossbow. But if MBL manages to mix in some onagers or mangonels rather as well into the mix, then DauT needs to have an answer to that as well.
While we have a moment, Viper, as this game heats up, tell me a little bit about the playstyle of MBL versus DauT. Like, if you had to kind of describe these guys in a sentence or two each, what do you think of MBL? Like, for instance, I think MBL as a booming player. What are your thoughts on these two guys?
Yeah, I think MBL in general, he's very, like, he might open super aggressively the first 1 to 3 minutes in Feudal Age, but usually after opening, he switches into a passive playstyle normally, with towers, defensive towers, and walls and stuff like that. Of course, it always depends on the situation in the game, but In general, that's how MBL plays most of the time. DauT, however, I don't know. It's just a macro player. He walls, he plays standard to the meta. He makes the units he's supposed to make, and just very solid player in general.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I'd put you on the spot having to create some interesting content there, but I totally agree. I mean, DauT is Mr. Meta. He's the king of meta. Probably not the best micro player, but maybe the best macro player. We'll see if DauT can do some good damage here. He did pick off a couple archers with those skirms while we were chatting away, but MBL did clean up the skirmisher army pretty easily, and now MBL will try to flip the script with a Mangonel, a couple of Bodkin Arrow archers, or rather crossbows, and just a little bit of HP left on his scout. DauT will drop a Siege Workshop in defense, and we'll see if DauT can hold this off.
Indeed, I think that was a big misplay by DauT. He left those 8 skirms there all the way. Like, even after MBL hit Cast Slash, he should have just fallen back and he would have 8 more elite skirms to deal with that. Right now, DauT also doesn't have the second armor upgrade, which means that MBL can actually kind of micro against these skirms. MBL also doing scale barding armor now, so he's adding a stable in as well, and he's actually university as well. MBL is not going for TCs at all. He really wants to push this, take control of the hill, and try to kind of finish DauT off early on.
I've seen you talk about this on your stream sometimes when you're playing games. When your opponent walls up, it's a bit annoying because you don't know what they're doing behind those walls, and maybe MBL can surprise DauT a little bit. We did talk about MBL as kind of a passive booming player in some games, in some situations. In this game, maybe he'll catch DauT by surprise being extremely aggressive. I mean, for instance, DauT doesn't know about MBL's stable and that he's transitioning into some knights, and those could really cause major damage to DauT's only defense, which is skirms right now.
Indeed, but the issue here for MBL is he is kind of trapped in DauT's base now. If DauT comes around with the skirmishes on the backside and gets a good Mangonel trade, like, he just have to trade the Mangonel for Mangonel even. MBL is like, that army is toast, I would normally say. But then again, it's DauT, so you never know. But yeah, like, I would never trap my units like that. When you know there's a Siege Workshop there and you don't know where DauT's army is. DauT is doing the second armor upgrade and he's moving in to take the fight. He already got the Mangonel trade and now he's gonna have a second one. Oh my god.
Oh boy, this position is falling apart for MBL after that Mangonel kills 4 crossbows and DauT's Mangonel. Now DauT's scout is dead. MBL is going on a run. He's going to run right past his opponent's TC. Quick walling coming in from DauT. Arrow fire from all sides. This is definitely not good value for MBL.
Exactly, that's exactly the reason why I didn't like this move. It's fine if you want to apply the pressure from the hill, but walking all the way in there on the deep end, being trapping yourself, really not a fan.
Yeah, that certainly did not work out well. MBL, I guess what I would say in MBL's defense is maybe he was anticipating, I'm going to get some knights in from behind this, I'm not going to get trapped, but he certainly did get trapped. And now DauT cleans everything for very, very cheap. It's 3 TCs for DauT, it's 53 Vils. He's adding in a market now as we speak. MBL on his side is going to be on 2 town centers. After a lot of aggression and a lot of resources spent, MBL really has no momentum, but he's going to try again, Viper. He's going to come and camp out on this hill and go for another push, I guess.
Indeed, MBL is also dropping a 3rd TC on the gold on top side, but then again, if you look at MBL's economy now, the farms, he's adding so many farms now, you can tell that his eco has been a little bit imbalanced as he made that push, but he's gonna stabilize that now, and I think MBL is still fine. Usually you prefer to have, this is like, MBL normally is the guy who's playing with skirms. Right now, you always want to be the guy who has crossbow, knights, mangonels in a situation like this, because you're the guy who's going to be able to apply pressure, you're the guy who can deal damage. The skirms are just defensive units in general, and DauT's going to have to react nice here.
Yeah, we will see MBL running in with some knights. He should be able to snipe down the Mangonel and some skirms. There is a monk wololoing away, though, so we actually will see a convert, and the Mangonel will survive for the moment. Mango's still firing away for now. Could be repaired by the blue player DauT. DauT cleans up this push from the knights of MBL, but MBL will follow it up with a Mangonel, some crossbows, and some more knights. DauT continues to defend himself nicely, but as you pointed out, Viper, it is 3 TCs for each guy. So it's not an all-in push from MBL by any stretch of the imagination. He will be setting himself a little bit behind. He spent a lot of resource on this, but it's still anybody's game to win, in my opinion.
Indeed, I think the fight here on the hill, like, there's also 1 stone and 1 gold pile there, and also a part of DauT's wood line, but of course that is switched now. However, if MBL can actually take control of this hill, like, honestly, I would even say it's justified to add another stable or siege workshop and like, really go for the hill, because that hill is going to be really hard to take back. DauT was a little bit lucky. He had the RNG gods on his side with the monk conversion. He converted the knight in just a few seconds. And he managed to save his own mangonels. So yeah, nice defense by DauT.
Well, MBL is sneaking around, and he's going to rain on DauT's parade. DauT was just about to take stone with about 8 villagers, and MBL is here to deny him that stone. DauT may be thinking about shoring up his position a little later in the game with a castle. For now, MBL is at least going to harass him a bit there. Knights on the way over. Those knights, by the way, with +1 defense, should be able to snipe the mangonel and should be able to deal with the skirms if MBL wants to. But it looks like MBL will go back as DauT adds in a university.
Yeah, I don't know why MBL was trying to micro there. He just wasted 2 crossbows. When skirms have +2 defense, you never want to fight them. They take 1 damage per shot from a crossbow. So it's never, ever going to be a good trade unless you have 40 crossbows and can one-shot them, right? So I don't know why he fought there. I guess he was hoping for the knights to come in earlier before the mangonels. But yeah, I mean, DauT, he has been on 1 range only the whole game. So he's just been like defending with the least amount of units he has to. MBL on the way to Imperial Age though, and if he manages to keep those crossbows alive and turn them into Arbalest, that's gonna be a tough time window for DauT during early Imp.
It will be a bit of a pickle, as some people would say. Yeah, we'll see. DauT is actually going to push out a little bit now. He's got a monk, some skirms, and a couple of mangonels, 3 mangonels to be precise, coming forward. MBL might get a nice sneaky shot in here, but we'll actually see DauT get a 1-for-0 mango trade. There you go. DauT micro.
I don't see that often.
Yeah. DauT is serious today, man. He's not messing around.
The problem here for DauT, though, is Celts, while they have really good bonuses and everything, they're good in Feudal Age, good in Castle Age. The transition from Castle Age to Imperial Age, you can see the same in my game with Hera earlier today. Like the transition there it's really hard to decide what units to make the right units to take early map control in Imperial Age. And DauT sticking with skirmishers that don't get Bracer. I don't think they even get the 3rd armor upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they don't. So those skirms are going to be really weak against the Arbalest of MBL here.
DauT seems focused on defending himself and waiting and biding his time. He's heavily on stone. He obviously wants to get a castle down somewhere, probably in defense. But as you said, MBL is starting to mass up a good number of crossbows, which could continue to be upgraded as the game goes on. MBL initially had 2 ranges queued on top of this hill, but he decided to delete one of them and build a siege workshop instead. So MBL could be coming pretty hot and heavy soon toward DauT. DauT with a very passive army, very defensive army, is going to have to micro these mangonels really well, and that's not necessarily what DauT's known for.
Indeed, I think DauT is looking towards Onager. He's dropping a castle now on the front as well, while I think MBL will just go straight for Arbalest Bombard Cannon, which is a really, really hard comp to deal with. Especially unless you have a big eco lead. You can see last game, I mean, I referred to that game between me and Hera earlier. Like, Bombard Cannons and Arbalest is a really good comp early Imperial Age to deal with Celts. Because Celts, they don't have that early Imperial Age transition to make. And DauT can lose so much map control, he can lose his castle, and all that stuff before he's even gotten out his own power units. So there's a really nice time window now for MBL to actually really force the issue here.
Yeah, MBL gets all 3 of those mangonels without losing a single Arbalest to a mangonel shot. Not that I saw. The skirmishers for DauT are in full retreat. DauT did get his castle up back at home. He does get to the Imperial Age. But as you said, MBL's chemistry is coming. His Arbalest upgrade is in. More range is coming from the green player. And I'll just take a quick look at scouting for you guys. Extra gold piles do seem to be visible. DauT is expanding to the south to take some extra gold. DauT also knows about a couple of the other gold piles near his base. MBL is missing 1 or 2. He's missing the one in the south and the one in the north. But the outpost rusher, MBL, is dropping outposts to try to find those resources.
Ethiopian outpost as well with extra line of sight, so I'm not sure if he's taking that into account, but that helps.
You're OP, Viper. You're OP. I didn't want you to be good at this, but man, beautiful. All right, so we'll see Onager from DauT. As you predicted, plate mail armor is on the way, and that could mean that DauT will have a little bit of infantry to go along with this. Siege Workshop from DauT coming down on the front, and it's going to be continued Onager production for him. MBL will have the Bombard Cannons, and I think you'd rather have the Bombard Cannons and Arbalest here, but what do you think?
Definitely. MBL says he has the range units, he has the extra range, he has the power units with the range as well. Nice target fire there to pick up an Onager. Well, it seems to me like DauT is trying to switch into Onager Ward Raiders, but he only has 1 castle, and he doesn't have... I don't see the units to deal with this comp of MBL here. MBL's also laming in his gold, like usually he's gonna wall in both the third and second gold of DauT as well, just to be extra annoying.
Yeah, MBL is certainly a master at being annoying. I thought these settings would favor him a lot because of his laming, but so far laming hasn't been such a big deal in this set of matches. We will see the castle from DauT under a little pressure, skirmishers from DauT rolling forward to try to kill some BBCs, but of course taking huge cannon shots to the dome, so those units are going to go back. DauT's in a ton of trouble. He does have 104 villagers, he does have a castle down now, and he can probably build another one soon. Elite Woad Raider is coming from DauT, but I don't see any Woads yet.
Yeah, he only has one castle. He's doing a second one to bottom route, but he's gonna lose this first castle most likely. He's not using his treb yet. He did employ a treb there to try and outrange the bomber cannons, but he's not putting it to use. That could have really bought him a lot of time here. I'm not sure why he's not using it.
Yeah, DauT is not firing away with that treb, which is wasted resources. MBL will get a couple of stables down now to follow up his push of Arbalest. Chain barding armor coming, husbandry coming. Just 3 cannons for MBL, but they seem to be doing a nice job to keep pressure on the front of DauT's base. And here we go. DauT will launch a couple of stones with that treb and try to push MBL away and make him micro a bit. But a very, very rough position from DauT. I mean, look at the map control for MBL. He could go anywhere he wants.
Indeed, and on top of that, controlling 2 of DauT's golds. DauT is a little bit lucky that he had that extra gold on the bottom of the map. But yeah, as soon as he saw the treb starting to shoot, he suddenly bought a lot of time for his castle. What DauT needs now is he needs to mass those Woad Raiders. If he gets up to 40 Woad Raiders, he might be able to just simply overrun MBL, and that's what he's going to hope for here. He cannot fight them straight up with just the skirms, he needs the big mass. Again, the same, I keep referring to the Hera game, but Hera attacked me with like 10 bolts at a time. If he massed those Woad Raiders up so we have 40, then you can simply overrun Arbalest.
Yeah, MBL is continuing to castle up his position and fortify it, but I think you're absolutely right that DauT is just trying to turtle up and prepare for winter. He's going to have 20 or so Woads out now, and he may put them into use behind a couple of Onager shots, but here we go, it's on.
Very nice place by MBL initially.
Yeah, Woad's running in. They will get the bombard cannons from MBL. MBL will get several of the Onagers. Arbalest microing away from this. Who's getting the better value here, Viper?
Honestly, I kind of would lean towards DauT because it's actually cleaning those bombard cannons, but at the same time, those Arbalest are not going down, and MBL is not losing the map control. So while the trade might be okay on paper for DauT, it's not still. DauT needed to like overwhelm that. He needed that push to clean it up.
Yeah, I think DauT got a call from the governor, a brief reprieve to his execution, but he's still in a lot of trouble. MBL is still with a 50-unit military, and DauT is now down to 15. Another batch of Woads will come forward soon, but it looks like DauT might circle those around and go raid MBL.
Indeed, MBL is now pushing in the left side towards the hill of DauT. Again, another hill that's going to be really hard for DauT to recover. His main stone is there. He also lost his monastery, which had 3 relics. So DauT's gold situation right now is looking really, really rough.
DauT is going to try to get some immense value out of Woads. He will grab a couple of vills here for sure as he gets closer to MBL's base. MBL looks like he wants to get a castle up or something near those gold piles to the right, but that's a pretty minor bit of raiding if you consider the big bludgeoning force that MBL has on the front. Still more bombard cannons for the player in green. He is going to keep the pressure on DauT. What do you think about DauT carving off a couple of Woads here to try to hurt MBL back at home?
I think it's a very good idea. He can't really fight MBL straight up now, so I would say the only way DauT can come back now is pretty much do what he's doing right now. He's trying to hold on the left side while raiding on the right side. And yeah, I think that's the best solution for him right now. It's going to be rough regardless, but if you look at the population, it's really not that far off. Those Woad Raiders are doing a lot of damage on the right side, actually. Picking off a lot of villagers.
Yeah,
DauT's actually ahead in villagers even now.
DauT gets some really good damage. He takes MBL off of an extra gold pile for a while, kills a bunch of villagers, and MBL did respond with a few knights, but not enough, because DauT is still there with 5 or 6 Woads, causing problems. In the meantime, we've seen DauT reinforce the middle of the map. He's still trying to hold in that center area with Onager and some Woads. We haven't seen as many elite skirms as of late, but they are still coming out slowly. Do you foresee a unit transition for MBL here sometime soon?
Oh, Onager shots. Oh, all those Arbalest. Well, right now I think MBL just needs to stick with Arbalest and bomber cannons. Like I said earlier, like MBL lost 4 bomber cannons earlier, I think. And that you can tell how much slower his push is right now. He needed those siege to actually be able to take out buildings. I think DauT needs to keep raiding on the right side. Just ignore the fight, buy time with skirms and archers, and then use all the warriors to raid.
We will see if DauT can get in some more raiding. The scores suggest that it's extremely close. I would say that DauT is a little more behind than the scores say, but there is always the chance that DauT, with these probably 15 woads on the right side, can really equalize the game. Both guys have added in extra TCs on that bottom of the map and are taking extra resources. If we look quickly at the miners, we actually see that DauT does not have any gold miners at the moment, while MBL has 11.
Indeed. DauT did, however, get back the relics, made a new monster, and picked up all the 3 relics. That can be really helpful in the long run. Yeah, I'm really liking what DauT is doing here. MBL doesn't have mobility with his units, so if DauT just keeps running around the map and hitting MBL where he cannot chase fast enough, then MBL's economy is going to start to struggle a lot because he's not able to actually make the damage on the front.
Yeah, DauT is starting to spread the woads a bit, but not maybe not super fast. Those woads are still hanging in the middle with a big group of elite skirms and a couple of onagers. A couple of woads did try to run in from DauT, but they got aggroed by the group of Arbalest, and DauT did not really spread those units and use that mobility you were talking about. If you look at DauT, he's got 1 woad on the right side of MBL's base. He can see that there's an opening in the back of MBL's walls. So DauT could try to spill into MBL's eco.
Indeed, and it did take out the town center from MBL on the bottom right, so that stone is up for grabs now for DauT, and he needs stone to get more castles for the woads. Again, you can see DauT, he's not fighting straight up. He's letting MBL control that front, and he's just running around. I really like that, and DauT is now trying to make the move into Siege Ram. I think if he can get Siege Ram with the Celtic Furora, which gives them the extra HP, then I don't see MBL having enough to actually... If there's 10 Siege Rams now jumping on the production buildings of MBL, that's going to be really hard for him to stop. Oh, he's getting really good trades now with the skirms and the Arbalest on the TC in the middle of the map. So many Arbalests falling down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am seeing DauT with a nice diverse army there. A couple of woads as a meat shield with a couple of skirms behind him. DauT is killing another TC here. I'm actually surprised to see 2 town centers getting bludgeoned down by the woads.
Yeah, I assume he has arson as well, which makes him even more powerful. And MBL's doing a good job remaking vills, though. He's been raided and lost probably 30-40 vills at this point, and he's been remaking them. So good job to him for that. But I feel like MBL's getting a little bit too tunnel vision there on the map control on those 2 goals, because he's not spreading out enough to and not pushing either. So he can't really justify just holding a position.
Yeah, things seem to be going downhill for MBL. The score leads have switched. He's behind by 500 points in the score. He is getting kind of trapped. His Arbalests in the middle of the map are getting cleaned up pretty nicely by DauT. MBL's down to 24 military, and DauT is up almost to 70. DauT will have another castle probably soon. He's mining stone like a madman, so we'll expect that. Still no massive eco rating from DauT, but he did kill a couple of TCs and a couple of armies, and all of a sudden MBL is on the back foot.
Indeed, those TCs and those 20 vills might be enough to set off MBL a lot, because MBL needs to reinvest that food into villagers and focus the vills on resource and everything. So that grabs a lot of attention, and at the same time DauT is regaining map control on his front. He's getting rams, he's even doing guilds, thinking about the long game. And if DauT gets his hand on those 2 extra goals on the front, then that might spell the end for Mr. MBL.
DauT picked his right moment, and he does seem to be certainly giving MBL a run for his money. MBL now is behind in the score by over 1k points. The military numbers are pretty low for MBL. He's trying to build a couple of ARBs in the center of the map, a couple of bombard cannons, and a bunch of light cav. But for now, those units are falling on deaf ears because DauT is continuing to put pressure on MBL's eco. MBL went from almost full map control to now kind of pigeonholed into 1/4 of the map in just about 10 minutes of game time there.
Indeed, DauT's using what he had. He had mobility was the main thing that he had over MBL, and he used it perfectly here.
Yeah, you talked about how Celts can be really awkward to play with sometimes. You have to choose the right transition at the right moment, and you can always choose wrong and second guess yourself. But in this case, DauT has kind of pulled it off, and I'm quite surprised. I thought MBL was going to skate to a victory here, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I thought, given the early Imperial Age position, I thought MBL would just steamroll him. But yeah, DauT did a good job buying time with his skirms and archers. And yeah, once those raids started coming in, MBL just struggled to keep up.
Yeah, MBL's in trouble here. I don't think there's a very good win condition for him. He's got nobody on gold anymore, still mining a little bit of stone, but that is all that he's really got coming in the way of mineable resources. DauT is also ramming down the walls that were around his gold, so DauT is actually going to free up a couple of gold piles to take if the game were to roll on even further. So DauT takes a small advantage, or a big advantage now, and he tries to make it even bigger by solidifying his gold economy. Is there any win condition anymore for MBL Viper?
Well, if you look at population, it's still not looking too bad. But like, he's losing all the production on the front. He's losing the DauT even got a castle up on the left side now. I think MBL just needs to take really good trades here, get DauT out of gold, because DauT is struggling in gold now. If he can get rid of these golds and then snowball into controlling those golds again, he might have a chance. But he needs to trade really well here, and he's actually doing it right now.
Yeah, MBL hanging out on the hill. He did find a way to make a pretty good group of ARBs here, and many of them did survive after the Skirmisher and Woad Raider onslaught, and MBL will push down the hill and make sure that DauT doesn't get that gold. A couple show tells out on the map, but not a whole lot of upgrades on those. MBL is adding an Elite Skirm, and he's going to continue the fight. It's going to be a bunch of archery ranges for MBL back at home, and DauT will be able to dive in with a couple of Woad Raiders. DauT's economy still lacking a bit of gold. He's got a little bit, I think he has a few miners left, 13 total, but he is not in a great position for gold just yet.
Do we know if MBL did the upgrade for Torsen engines? Ah, he did not yet, okay. So his bomber cannons would have been really good with Torsen engines against the skirms.
But you said it's not in yet.
Yeah, it's not in it, no.
Gotcha.
MBL is doing guard tower now, you know, be annoying as possible, and he's trying to tower the gold now, DauT. I think MBL, he survived DauT's gold. DauT's out of gold now. DauT can't constantly produce siege and Woad Raiders. If MBL now the win condition is control those two goals of DauT. If he can do that, I think he might pull this out.
Ooh. Tower for the moment denied by that one Woad. That one hero Woad is surrounded by dead bodies. He sees dead people.
I see dead people.
Just playing a little drop there. Haley Joe Osment, that creepy movie, Sixth Sense. Okay, so MBL is going to take a moment to deny DauT of any gold economy that he can. Tower did not go up yet for MBL, but it could still go up. Guard tower upgrade is in. DauT is going Siege Ram now. DauT's got a little gold to mine here. It's a little bit of a bumpy gold with the lamed walls up. And here comes MBL with another play at that tower.
Indeed. The main thing MBL is missing, though, is the siege to actually take out crucial buildings. Right now he has no trebs, no bomber cannons. He has one battering ram. Like, that's not enough to take down the castle. It's never going to be. And also on the right side, MBL has a big army there, light cav, arbalest. But there's a big lack of siege there, so he's never going to clean that position without actual rams or bomber cannons or trebs. So that's the main ingredient missing right now.
Yeah, we will see if DauT can get in, grab a couple of bombard cannons. Certainly going to grab one now in the middle of the map from MBL. The skirmishers from DauT are still in pretty high number. He's still got a couple of Woads as a meat shield out in front of this. DauT floating a lot of food and wood, but and a little bit of stone for another castle. Maybe DauT is going to get a castle here soon, actually, Viper.
Yeah, the question is just where would he put it? And also, you might make an argument for selling that stone instead. He does have 3 castles up, 4 castles even. So is the 5th castle really needed? Maybe it's better off selling and getting like 700 gold for that instead.
Yeah, interesting. I was thinking that DauT might drop that castle back in the hot place where he's fighting to win gold right in front of his map. But yeah, DauT could absolutely sell those resources at this point and try to continue to get his Woad production and such going. For now, DauT's sitting on top of that stone. He's also taking a little bit of damage on the other side as the green player MBL climbs the hill, and if MBL gets some siege out, he might be able to win DauT's castle in the south of the map. But for now, DauT's quite okay, I would say.
Indeed, there's also 2k gold there next to DauT's castle on the right side that MBL still hasn't gotten to use. If he can control that and get that 2k gold, that's also going to help him a lot. DauT did decide to go for the castle though, as you predicted, and he's placing it right on that gold.
Yeah, and it might be a DauT castle. I guess we'll see. A lot of skirmishers in range of these vills. DauT is firing away with skirms and has some Woads, so I don't think MBL can win this fight. This is not a good position at all for MBL, because the castle's going to go up, and the Woad Raider meat shield is an absolute beast when there's only 5 arbalests in the mix for MBL.
Indeed, DauT is now starting to cash in that gold, and he can start producing Woad Raiders again, and Unless MBL can get more Arbalest out, those skirms are not gonna deal well with the Wolves.
Yeah, it's been a long game. We're an hour deep in this one. Still no GG on either side. Both guys have had moments where it looked like they were ahead and going to put the last nails in the coffin, but we have yet to see this game totally end. We will see DauT adding in Siege Ram here. A couple of Trebs will unpack to take down MBL's production in the middle of the map. But there is a silver lining for MBL. It's this gold on the right side. Having just a little bit of gold to work with means MBL can build more ARBs, he can build more BBC if he wants. Both guys have a couple of relics, so there is a trickle of gold coming as well, and MBL will even castle that gold on the right.
Yeah, very good move, MBL. Also gonna allow him to do a trebuchet to help take out the castle. I'm looking right now, DauT actually upgraded Pikeman, which indicates he's also gonna go all the way to Halberdier. So DauT is just, he's playing safe, he's planning long term. Like, once their gold runs out for World Raiders, you want to have Halberdier upgraded. Because it's a little bit too late once the gold is out to start thinking about that 600 gold for Halberdier.
That's a really good point. Yeah, DauT is thinking a little bit further ahead. Those pikes are starting to come out as a nice little meat shield, I guess. 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. There's a couple of barracks here on the front. It is continued woad production for DauT. MBL, by the way, 200 gold, 200 stone in the bank. DauT has 500 gold in the bank. And if we look at miners, DauT's mining with 22 villagers. MBL is mining with 1 or 2 on his gold pile.
Yeah, MBL actually pulled villagers off the gold to build that castle, but he's not re-mining again. He's making a lumber camp with those villas now instead. I'm not sure why. He knows there's 2k gold there. He really needs that. So that's a little bit weird to me, but I'm sure they will take it eventually.
Yeah, I'm not sure what MBL's thinking there either, but for now, he does pull back, as you said, and he's going to go for a little bit of wood. MBL is still holding his hill with some skirmishers, but for the most part, these guys are at a bit of a stalemate in between the two hills. DauT will reinforce with Trebs and Woads, and he will come with another push soon. MBL on his side just seems to have skirmishers and light cav. That seems to be all that he can afford.
Indeed, DauT is now actually investing into armor upgrades for Cavalier. He's going to switch into light cav, I assume, then as well, and he's also doing Furor Celtica at last. That means those Onagers are going to be way more tanky, and those Onagers now are going to be really important fighting against those skirms, and especially the Siege Rams. Siege Rams suddenly having, what, 400 something HP? That's going to be tough for trash units to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely, and DauT is going to immediately start to use some of that siege to knock down MBL's newest castle. MBL's ability to protect this gold is now gone. DauT pushes in with a huge group of woads and skirms. DauT basically circumvented MBL's army. MBL wanted to fight him on the hill in the north. DauT said, screw it, I got mobility, I'm going to the south, and his woads right now are going ham on some trebs, some buildings, and some vills.
Indeed, and MBL now is all trash units. He has some Arbalest on the right side that are going to get picked off by the Warriors now, but the bottom line here is skirmishers, light cav, they're not going to fare well with Warriors. And when DauT has this significant number of woads, he's also getting raiding in on the right side of woodline of MBL. MBL is falling under 100 villagers, under 140 population. This is going to be an uphill battle now for MBL.
Yeah, DauT playing really patient here. I guess he is kind of always a patient player. Took a nice advantage in the mid-Imperial Age and continues to have that advantage in late Imp. Continues to slowly grind MBL down, forcing his opponent into trash, which is coming in the form of light cav in elite skirms. MBL on 40 military, considering the quality of that military, is really, really far behind DauT. DauT's got a lot more woads in the mix, which pretty much shred a lot of that trash. So we haven't seen a lot of Halj yet, Viper, but other than that, all the upgrades DauT has grabbed in the last few minutes have really helped him get an advantage, and now he's pushing in on MBL's base.
Indeed, and he's got almost 1,000 gold in the bank. He's also, like, as soon as he took control of the right area now, he jumped on that gold that MBL had as well. So that's another 2k gold that's going to be invested into Siege, into World Raiders, and yeah, MBL is still stuck on those gold and wood units. And yeah, it's looking really, really rough right now.
Yeah, MBL is going to have a lot of problems because those woads are spreading like wildfire, running all through his eco. And we will see now the GG called by MBL. DauT pulling out a win there, even after, I believe, if I remember right, losing a Vill to a Boar. Pretty impressive win, Viper. What are your final thoughts here?
Yeah, they had a bad start, of course. Castledge was very nicely defended by DauT, but the problem was always going to be the early Imperial Age transition. It's so much easier for Ethiopians to transition into Arbalest, Siege, and whatnot. And Yeah, I mean, just it was very impressive how DauT bought time to actually get to use his mobility, and yeah, that was pretty much the key. As long as MBL couldn't force a push immediately in Castle Age, DauT played it for the long game, and it worked out.
I'm very surprised that DauT pulled that game out. I thought he was in a really, really rough position with his castles and early imp, but he did. At the end of it all, I'll just show the achievements quick. We will see DauT grab a point. DauT will get one point closer to punching a ticket to the finals here today in our little tournament. We will see game number 4 coming our way in just a moment. MBL versus DauT have already launched.
All right, Tyler, I'm going to quickly run and grab a cup of coffee, so I'll be back in just a minute and a half.
All right, buddy. See you soon. So DauT will earn a second point. A very impressive game from DauT. Not only, you know, DauT really did stay alive there for a long time. Staying alive. DauT definitely lived up to his hype song and stay alive versus a lot of pressure from MBL. At the end of that game, we see DauT grabbing a 2-1 lead. MBL must win now. Remember, MBL does have a veto left, so that could be a difference maker. If this civ generation looks good, we should probably see MBL using a veto. Nightbringer, DauT is used to losing Vils to Boars, so he's comfortable. There you go. Thanks everybody who followed in the last few minutes. I'll just scroll down through this a little bit. Ali was the donating some bits there a moment ago. Much appreciated. Margaret with some bits as well. Very appreciated to you guys. MBL hype. Also Margaret hype. We will gladly say thanks as well to many new followers. Today and yesterday have been really, really great, bringing a lot of new people on board to the channel. I very much appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you for the support. I hope you're enjoying the Killer Bees Arabia Cup. This is a culmination of a lot of support from people like you guys over the past several months. We've kind of parlayed all of that donation money, carved it aside, and basically funded this tournament, which has been really great. Winner will take home $300. Second place, I think, is $200, and third and fourth are a little bit lower than those two. So it's going to be a nice series. Players have been taking it pretty serious. I think it's good to have a good, strong prize pool to basically make sure that everybody has a lot of incentive to play their very best. We've got some of the best and brightest here in our field today, and I was joined earlier by Tato to cast TheViper versus Hera. If you missed those games, you should check them out. You guys can also check out the brackets if you're not worried about spoilers by clicking on this link. Now, of course, I'm getting a Cocast from TheViper. We're watching MBL versus DauT, and we are planning at 16 GMT to move on to the next set. We will probably be delayed. These games are live. Even if DauT wins this next game and finishes the series, it may not be immediately launching at 16 GMT with MBL versus Hera, but keep your eyes open for more games coming today. Let me just look around quick and see if I can communicate with Hera, just to double check that he is simpatico with the whole plan for today. Let's just see if we can do that. Let's see if we can find Mr. Hera. Send off a quick email here and get things in order. Let's see.
All right, I'm back.
Perfect. Perfect timing.
Indeed.
Just sending off a quick email to Hera, and we will get a launch right now.
All right.
Wonderful. All right, Viper.
Did you get in?
Yeah, I'm in. What do you see, my friend?
Perfect. What I see right now is Saracens against Goth. I'm expecting a restart here from MBL. Saracens against Goth is not a nice matchup to play. If it goes Imperial Age, Saracens literally has no chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
my opinion.
Well, your opinion is valued a lot in this community, and I think I'm on board with you. MBL, oh, DauT wants a re right away here.
What?
And DauT is going to get a re.
I guess he saw... Wait, did MBL use a veto yet?
No, MBL did not veto yet.
DauT just restarted and resigned without waiting for an answer?
It looks like he did.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sure MBL wouldn't have vetoed anyway when he's Saracens against Goth.
Yeah, DauT went for the veto there, and I don't see too much wrong with DauT's position. Well, I guess he does have everything forward, but
yeah,
interesting. What do you think about that?
It's an awkward map. I understand the restart. The wood is very far. It's very exposed. The gold, stone, everything is spread all over. I don't know exactly how much he sees himself because the fog of war doesn't work right now. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest map for DauT. I assume he doesn't like Saracens either.
Well, DauT will use a re there. MBL did have a veto left, but I guess the guys don't mind too much. MBL does not seem upset that he... I don't think... Like you said, there's not a whole lot of incentive for MBL to use a veto there, right?
Yeah, I think, honestly, if DauT didn't restart, probably MBL would.
Interesting that MBL used it so early because, you know, often players in tournament situations will wait till the 4-minute mark and hope that their opponent has to use the re, or maybe you go try to lame something and force them to re. It was a bit weird, right?
Yeah, indeed. But I'm expecting a restart again, just throwing it out there. Civilization is not kind to MBL right here.
Oh, yeah.
Nor is the map. So, actually the map, if you look at his main goal for MBL up there with the forest, it can actually be really nicely secured. But yeah, the civ matchup of Aztecs against Spain, it's not really a pleasant one.
Yeah, MBL in this case is at a bit of a civ disadvantage to say the least, and he says re, and DauT has no vetoes left,
Yeah.
so we're going to see a restart here.
Yep, I was quite expecting.
So I guess the re-veto thing is not too bad because everyone's using it in like 1 minute. It's not, we're not going 4 minutes in. It's not boring, you know?
Yeah, well, DauT doesn't have a veto yet, so it didn't make sense for MBL to wait. Like DauT is not going to use the restart in Aztec with Aztec, so. But yeah, I mean, I like the veto thing. It's a nice introduction to a strategic element out of the game. I like it.
I was thinking somebody would figure out a good way to use it, and so far it's actually been used in a different way than I expected. But
how did you expect it?
I was thinking that players would want to save it a bit longer. It seems like people are going to use it when they have a civ advantage, which is normal. But I thought it would be one of those things that would be sort of looming over your opponent. Sort of like now that DauT has used his veto, MBL can re with impunity. So I thought people would hang on a bit longer. But everyone who's used it has used it to pretty good effect. But without any further ado, guys, we got a relaunch here into game number 4. It will be MBL versus DauT. Go ahead.
Well, restart. Oh, he's vetoing. Okay. Well, I mean, this was good by DauT. He called the re instantly, so MBL had no chance to look at his map, as we know. So he's going to veto, but MBL's map is not good at all. I'm not sure if he'll be happy with the fact that he didn't veto in the end, because his map is really awkward.
I wonder if we, in the future, if we use this veto again, we'll have to do some sort of, we'll have to deepen what the veto means. Like, for instance, if DauT calls a re early, if you're as MBL, you might say, like, I'm going to wait until 4 minutes exactly to decide if I want to veto. That seems fair if MBL wanted to wait, but everybody is doing it on the fly, which I think is kind of the way that this tournament should go. That's kind of the way the rules are, so...
I think it's better as well for fluidity in the series as well. You don't have to wait 4 minutes all the time for a V to be called. But at the same time, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think on the earlier subject of like how would a veto be used, I think in general people are going to use it for the ones where there's the civ disadvantage is like too big to overcome. And I think honestly that's the only time you should, unless you have a really bad map or really bad start. I think you would never. Also, the veto. You should only use the veto if you have a very good civ advantage, I think.
Yeah, in this case, we are going to see these guys play it out, I suppose, because MBL has called the veto. Do you think it's worthwhile for MBL? I think I know your answer, but do you think it's worthwhile for MBL to use his veto here?
I think if he knew about the map, maybe not. But looking at the civ, naturally Japanese should be quite better than Goth. So even with a bad map, he might be able to make it work. But yeah, I'm usually a fan. I'd rather have a worse civ as long as my map is good than have a better civ with a real bad map.
I think the idea of MBL vetoing, as you said, he didn't know about his map, but outside of that, I like the use of the veto because he's got to make hay while the sun is shining. If MBL loses the next game, of course, he's going to be eliminated. So use that veto as a resource. You know, the last game will be random, and MBL won't have much to say about it, but at least give yourself a chance to get to game 5. So,
yeah, I mean, that's a kind of a judgment you have to make, the risk. Do you want to get the... Like, you want to make sure you might get to game 5, or do you want to save it for what might be game 5, right?
Totally.
decision there as well to be made. So yeah, I like the strategic element of the veto. It's very nice.
I'm glad you like it. I thought we should try something. I mean, the tournament is an extremely basic tournament, so I thought we should try at least one thing that's a little bit weird, a little bit different. Just to let you guys know, this is the second semifinal today. It is going to be MBL versus DauT best of 5. The winner will go on to the grand final to play the guy's voice who you hear, Mr. Viper. The loser will go on to play the third place match against Hera. You can find those games here at 16 GMT. We'll bring in Zero Empires. I don't know if you've heard of that guy. And then 18 GMT, we will bring in Mr. Nilly. So a murderer's row of co-casters today. I think it's going to be a really great bit of fun. For now, DauT is trying to close this series out. Go ahead, Viper.
Boar went back. MBL went back to try and lame the boar, but the boar, I mean, the boar was already going to tease it, but it went back. So MBL's scout was in position to actually lame, but DauT brought his own scout back. I'm surprised MBL didn't take the boar, honestly. Earlier, he scouted the villager going to the boar, so DauT switched direction and made a house instead, and MBL went the direction to find the scout, the boar, I mean, and he found the boar with the scout, but he chose to not take it. I'm a little bit surprised by that, why he wouldn't take the boar in that scenario, because he knew DauT's scout was closer to his base. So that was a little bit strange. He did also leave it, went far away from it, so he couldn't lame either. So a little bit strange. That's not usually how MBL plays with the scout.
Yeah, again, I was thinking, oh man, MBL is going to really be in full lamer mode. He's going to get great laming in this series, but so far we haven't seen too much powerful laming from MBL. DauT at the moment coming forward with his scout. I'll just quickly show you guys the map since you can't scroll around freely like Viper and I can. I'll show you that DauT to the north of his TC has 4 villagers on wood. DauT playing in the blue at the bottom of the map has his berries to the left side. Good wood line behind him, at least safe wood line. Main gold on the front for DauT. Extra gold and extra stone for DauT behind his TC. On the green side of things, it's MBL who's going for a barracks now. DauT harassing a bit with the scout. MBL's got a back gold pile where he sent 2 villagers. It could be men-at-arms for both guys. Berries off to the left side. Stone out there as well. Oh, the villager died in that exchange.
Indeed. He didn't have loom in the time.
Okay, I thought the loom was going to finish on time. I miscalculated there. Wow, DauT gets out with 1 HP.
Yeah, the trade-off though is that DauT scout is now pretty much he can't use it anymore. It's useless because he can never engage with that scout. I always like to have my scout alive. I honestly I wouldn't even mind trading a villager for a scout. But of course the scout is still alive, but it only has 1 HP, so I don't think it's too annoying for MBL.
Yeah, DauT Scout is relegated to deer pushing, and that's probably about it. As we were saying, MBL does have some resources on the back of his map. Both guys have some good things to work with, but I'd say the weakest part of MBL's map is that he's really committed to this wood line. This is his only good wood line anywhere close to his TC, which is quite uncomfortable. If you think about DauT's map, he actually probably can find a very nice way to defend the gold on the front, and the 2 wood lines aren't too bad either. So I like DauT's map a lot here.
Indeed, DauT has nice and safe. Like, in general, the first priority when it comes to resource is to have safe wood. And while you can say that MBL's wood is kind of safe right now with those buildings and he's making an outpost, it's the only wood he has. As soon as that wood gets attacked, or if DauT manages to control it somehow, then MBL is, yeah, he's very far stretched for options for wood. So I think MBL is going to play a very aggressive game here in general. Keep DauT on his side of the map.
MBL with what I think is a quite nice outpost near his wood line so that he can see if DauT is going to come with any form of aggression or towers on that side. Both guys are building militia. Men-at-Arms is on the way for DauT. Archery range follow-up is on the way for MBL. MBL will also get a range up, but DauT will lose his scout.
Indeed. I like the fast range. It's also, it goes well along with aggressive play. Get those units out there instantly. And with the Japanese men-at-arms, he really should be able to win this fight convincingly, especially with the scout as well.
Yeah, MBL comes...
Very nice patrol. Very nice move by MBL there.
Yeah, MBL comes back into the fray to finish his archery range, uses that villager to get a couple of pokes, and he's even going to peel 1 man-at-arms off to chase down those last 2. MBL is not going to waste any time. He is really going to be aggressive, immediately sending those units forward, and there will be archers along with those men-at-arms. Where is he headed to now, Viper? Where is he going to try to hit?
Well, he doesn't know too much about DauT's map. He knows about the gold and the berries. He's going to hit the gold probably first. That's going to be his go-to. But he was really unfortunate. He was housed just now. Like, this is the moment where you want to get those units out there, and he was housed. So that's a little bit awkward for him. But yeah, we'll see. DauT's reacting with an archery range, and I assume that will tower up that gold at some point. So I don't see those men-at-arms getting to do too much unless they come around the barracks on the bottom side, which they are doing right now. So DauT needs to react faster.
Yeah, we'll see if DauT has enough time to react. He has nearly chewed through his berries, so abandoning the berry patch is not a big deal. You could foresee DauT maybe walling toward his TC with a couple more houses to protect that back wood line. But for the moment, DauT is going to just have one man-at-arms, one fresh one out on the map to keep an eye on his opponent. And DauT, still without that tower that you were thinking about, is probably going to get one soon. It is double ranges, and it is archers for DauT now.
Indeed, he also has that if he just makes a house or two, he's securing that wood line at the backside as well. So he is going to have two very nice wood lines. And MBL, yeah, MBL is going with the one range again into blacksmith. So he just wants the upgrades so he can micro and actually apply pressure instead of the massive army.
Ooh.
Which it might...
Sorry, DauT didn't get the walls up in time. MBL's going to dive in a bit. Go ahead.
Or did they trap him again?
Let's call it a trap. Yeah, definitely.
DauT lost 2 vills, so
yeah,
probably a good trade for MBL, yeah.
2 vills so far, and it could be a third. There's another one going down, so MBL getting some really nice damage in on DauT. Will there be a 4th villager dead? No, there won't, but a really nice bit of eco damage for MBL, who dove in. DauT had plenty of time to wall that area up, but he decided just a couple seconds too late to drop down a blacksmith. Still no defensive tower from DauT, still just archer production for him. A little bit of a disadvantage for DauT here, right?
For sure, for sure. Those village losses were very unnecessary. I think DauT thought he probably could fight that, but you can never underestimate men-at-arms that has some kind of army attack bonus, like Burmese or Japanese men-at-arms. They're so powerful. I've done the mistake many times myself where I start engaging men-at-arms thinking, okay, I can clean this with villagers, but then you quickly realize that these men-at-arms are fairly powerful.
I gotta ask you, Viper, you got a good memory, you've been playing this game for a while. Feel free if you believe you deserve credit to take credit for it, but who deserves proper credit for this men-at-arms meta? We've seen this a lot in the past, like, couple of years, but before that, I don't remember seeing it quite as much. Is there somebody who jumps to mind who made this so sexy all of a sudden?
Warlock Kingdoms, probably. So no person, but the fact that we're playing in the expansions, it appeals more to aggressive play and walls are weaker and stuff like that. But I think with playstyles, usually the only civ that used to do men-at-arms before was pretty much Aztecs, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think I can attribute or credit a specific player for the style, but rather the way the game has developed.
I'm glad you set me straight there, because for a long time I've been saying, like, oh man, Slam really made this popular. For some reason I have it in my head that Slam was really obsessed with men-at-arms, even with like Huns back in the day. But that was, hey, you know, nobody's memory is perfect. I'm still watching go ahead.
But Slam, he was one of the guys who played a lot of men-at-arms with Huns.
Yeah.
So, your memory is not wrong. He used to play a lot of men-at-arms with Huns.
You're a kind co-caster, but everyone can read between the lines here.
No, that's true. It's true, actually. Slam used to, like, a lot of times he would play men-at-arms, while others always play scouts with Huns. He would play men-at-arms forward with towers. So I guess maybe Slam, you can give him a little bit of credit at least.
Zach is saying Carlos Ferdinand deserves some credit here.
Well, if full men-at-arms the whole game, then yes, agreed.
Look at this little hill that DauT is standing on top of. That's a nice hill bonus for him. Both guys with +1 damage. We've been watching them flirt here, but I don't see a whole lot of advantage. Do you?
I don't think DauT has wheelbarrow, right? So, I mean, MBL should have an economic advantage given how he killed those wheels early on. We can also see MBL, he has to invest villages on stone to secure his map because it's so exposed. So that can slow him down a little bit. Like, he would rather have those villas on food or gold, but yeah, I would say advantage MBL. He has the map control, he has the pressure, he has a good economy up and running. And he's also doing a little bit of a cheeky villager sneak on the right side. That's going to be a tower.
Ooh. Yeah, good eyes. Yeah, Japanese player in green, MBL, is going to sneak a tower down, and that tower is going to harass this wood line. You feel okay with that tower, Viper?
I would probably place a few tiles closer, but it will push DauT off the wood sooner or later. DauT is dropping a stable, though. Probably predicting even more pressure for MBL. So that's going to be feudal age scouts, not castle age.
Yeah, absolutely. DauT does look to be invested here in the feudal age, not excuse me, not floating a lot of resources, adding in the stable. MBL will get a stable as well, but MBL's resources are pointing toward a click up and then maybe some knights to go along with it. But I suppose we'll find out in a moment.
Indeed, and MBL is doing a great job here. It's just being active with his units, forcing DauT to stay at home. And yeah, MBL is up to cast stage, and I predict those knights to come out and really, really do some good damage. Because DauT's army is still majority skirms. The only thing in favor of DauT when it comes to a knight switch for MBL is the fact that his spearmen are cheap. So it's not that big of an investment to suddenly drop another barracks and get those spearmen out there.
Yeah, as MBL ticks up to the castle age, he adds in a second stable. DauT is also adding in a second stable, but DauT's second stable is a very different play than MBL's. This is going to be double stable scout production by the looks of it. And MBL, of course, is going to turtle up and wait for the castle age. DauT's going to make that big, heroic, feudal age push here, Viper. Do you think he can get it done? I mean, MBL does have one really bad wood line that DauT could starve him on, but it's going to be interesting in the next few minutes.
Especially since MBL has overchopped his woodline right now. It's open. He's reacting now, though. He might close it. He should. He needs to close it. If he doesn't close that and those scouts get in there... Oh, he's walling it now? Okay, yeah, he's going to be fine, I think. He's doing a tower even, just to make sure. To be on the safe side. I would like to see MBL drop a new lumber camp as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't see where DauT can do damage here. There's towers everywhere. MBL is up to cast stage in a second. And it's looking very, very promising for him. This is the first time DauT is over on this side of the map this game.
Yeah, and it's a very good point, actually. DauT doesn't know anything very much about MBL's map. He saw the barracks and the foundation of an archery range, but since then, he doesn't know that MBL's added in double stables. Castle Age pops in for MBL. DauT is far too committed to go back home, I think, and he's going to come forward with some vills to tower, but this could be the end of this game. This could be it. DauT is kind of caught in a big investment in feudal. MBL is going to finish his tower up, and I do expect the knights to come and mop things up. And DauT's going to be in a world of hurt here in a few moments. DauT will go back. MBL's tower is still up. He's still got one cheeky villager forward. DauT's still in the feudal age. We will see our player in green coming forward with his couple of knights. DauT has continued production here in the feudal age. He's going to have to keep on going because there's no real way for him to get back up, I think, and catch up in this case. But is this going to work, Viper? Do you see any chance here?
Sorry, I just had to quickly deal with something. Can you repeat the question, please?
I was just saying, DauT losing a lot in that exchange. MBL is now up to castle with the double stable knights. Do you think there's a road back here for DauT? Does he have a chance still?
If he can get one more tower up on the wood line, I mean, like the wood line is still the only wood for MBL. If he can control that wood and actually keep harassing DauT there, he might have a chance. But of course, that tech advantage that MBL has right now is going to be really hard to overcome.
Yeah, DauT should be clicking up soon. He's finally found MBL's forward villager. That villager somehow kind of walked into the middle of no man's land. The green player is MBL. He's pushing DauT away now, and he's going to take down that tower and deal with it. DauT may buy himself a little bit of time to click up, but he's still a little short on resources after going really deep here in feudal age production.
Yeah, he's also adding a second barracks to make more spearmen, and it's still like he has like 7-8 spears already out, and if he gets those over there really fast, he might be able to... Nah, he's not going to save the tower. He's probably going to fall back. MBL still has skirmishers with +2 Balkan arrow. So I don't see this army doing too much for DauT here. He needs to... he's going to try and save those vills. But I'm not sure if he can pull it off.
Yeah, if he can get those villagers out, maybe it's a little bit of a silver lining as DauT clicks up to the castle age, but these knights are breathing down his neck. Bloodlines with +1/+1 for MBL. MBL does clean the vills. DauT loses some scouts in the process, and DauT is on the way home. DauT needs to look for a plan B or maybe even a plan C as he's going up to the castle age to try to pull this back. What do you expect from him here, Viper, after so much damage?
He does have 2 out of each feudal age building now. 2 stables, 2 ranges, 2 barracks. So he can, of course, go anything. MBL is trying to get a tower, another tower up on the top side of the DauT space, but he does have a scout there. But when it comes to armor comp right now, I mean, MBL is committed to the knights, but he can also switch easily into ranges. Go cav archers, go crossbow, skirms, elite skirms. So I think this will be like a... it's all about countering each other now when it comes to military. DauT will go something, MBL will try to counter that, and vice versa.
Yeah, DauT's going to get good mileage out of, or rather MBL will get good mileage out of his knights for a moment. DauT needs a few more seconds to get up to the castle age. MBL will probably get that second tower up on the right eventually, since he's come over to clean up DauT's scout that was denying it. So there will be a few more towers and a little bit more annoyance from MBL, but maybe not a big deal. MBL standing and fighting versus a bunch of spears here in the middle of the map. What do you think about that?
Very, very good trade for DauT.
Yeah.
Those are cheap spearmen. He still has 5-6 left of them, and all the knights went out for MBL.
Ooh.
Very, very sloppy engaged from MBL.
Yeah, I'm not sure if MBL thought he could, maybe miscounted the spears. It looked like he committed to that engagement, and of course, DauT will be happy with that. Pikeman upgrade on the way for DauT. MBL is diving in with a couple of knights toward DauT's eco. DauT is walled up in a lot of places, but he probably will sustain a little bit of eco damage from these knights. Castle Age is in for both players. MBL with a TC in the middle of the map on a safe wood line, which I like.
DauT quick walls, DauT quick walls, man. On the wood line.
Oh boy. Oh boy, there's a hole.
Oh, it was open, of course. It was interesting though. You see the monster from DauT. The building to the right of it that was deleted was, he was trying to add a third stable. I'm not sure why. He deleted it after it was halfway built and dropped the monastery instead. Like, he doesn't have economy to sustain 3 stable anyway, so I think that was a good call.
Well, DauT will get a TC up on that back wood line. Can't seem to wall it in, so might as well TC it. We will see knights coming out from the player in blue. Bloodlines with +1/+1 for him. A whole mess of pikemen as well for DauT. Of course, Goth pikes, easy to spam. Japanese player is bloodlines with +1/+2 on his knights. MBL has a few stables down, but is now dropping a castle. And that castle could be a really important thing. Not only does it solidify this wood line, but maybe some samurais as the game go on could be quite useful.
Indeed, I think that castle is purely, the position is purely to control the woodline, because, I mean, MBL needs to have one wood that is safe. Like, I think MBL feels he's far ahead enough that he just needs to make sure his economy is safe. And that's what he's doing with that castle. He's also doing scale mail armor, so the transition to Japanese samurai is very much on the cards.
Yeah, we'll see if that transition comes through in a few moments. For now, MBL will finish up the castle. It's probably worth looking at MBL's point of view and letting you guys know what he's got. He's got a couple range archers, 2 ranges. He's got a couple stables building knights. He's got 1 barracks, which is idle. Just to let you guys know, I know DauT is going for the Noah's Ark build with 2 of every building. But MBL is mostly just going for archers with a few knights mixed in here.
Indeed, it's also mixing in those samurai, as you mentioned. So MBL's composition is going to be really good to deal with whatever DauT has. And I see MBL is doing another 3rd TC on the wood to the left side, so his economy is going to start pulling far, far ahead as well. And yeah, MBL is just putting himself in a really good spot.
Yeah, DauT seems to be sending a bunch of villagers off to the left as well. Maybe a TC coming from DauT sometime soon. DauT with enough stone for a castle, that could help him deal with some of this raiding. But for now, MBL with a 15 villager advantage. And maybe MBL starting to mass up the right type of counters to make DauT really uncomfortable. So DauT probably playing the rest of this game, for now, from behind.
Indeed, DauT is queuing up archers now, so he's trying to make a crossbow switch himself. They're, like I said, it's going 1 of every unit as well. So, I mean, that's going to help with the samurai, of course, but with MBL going crossbow himself behind this, he's probably going to get thumb ring, get ballistics. Those crossbows are even going to be better than DauT's, most likely. So, yeah, DauT needs to find somewhere to do damage here, because economy-wise he's behind, military-wise he's also behind. He needs to make some place.
Yeah, MBL has done quite a lot of good work early on in this game. Granted, his civ is quite nice in this situation, but MBL's done a good job to deal with a really bad wood line. And now he's solidified his map. We will see if MBL can grab a win here. If he does, we'll go on to a decisive game number 5. Remember, guys, today is all best of 5 except for the grand final, which will be a best of 7 showdown. Again, I'm joined by TheViper, and again, thanks for joining me, man. And yeah, I mean, we've seen a great game so far. It does seem like MBL's got control here. What is he going to do to finish off this game? Is it going to be more samurai production?
I think he just needs to do what he's doing right now. Keep expanding his eco, keep pulling ahead in the economy, and keep making those units that he's making. Samurais to counter whatever infantry there is, and potential huskarls, and crossbows to deal with pikemen and whatever else. I think, yeah, MBL's just a very comfortable situation. He has all the right units he needs. Even has knights to deal with maybe potential mangonels. And yeah, DauT doesn't really have the tools to deal with this composition of MBL right now. And also, I don't think DauT even knows. Does he even know about the castle? Yeah, it knows about the castle, but I don't think he knows that there were so many samurai in play.
Yeah, DauT is sneaking a couple of knights around into the back of MBL's base. We did see DauT come from behind on the back of some really nice raiding in the previous game. It's going to be a lot harder for DauT to do that this game, but we see MBL getting Yasama. So that will be coming in here as we speak. Yeah.
That is beautiful. I love that. I would like to see him get a university and do a guard tower as well then.
Yeah, we may just see...
Finish it with style.
Yeah. We are seeing those towers coming out, so MBL is going to focus on the towers, but my university button is not doing much. Oh, there it is. University is up. Guard tower is on the way.
And the first tower comes up on the main stone of DauT. And it means that there's going to be more stone available for MBL to continue towering.
Yeah, and DauT will give a GG here. It's, you know, it's not all over for DauT, but it is really getting out of hand, so I think it's a pretty justified GG. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the guard tower upgrade complete, but we see MBL get a win there as we go into game number 5 to see who's going to win this series. Any final thoughts, Viper, on this set, on this game?
Yeah, I think you got to give MBL a lot of credit for how he played this. With his map, the only one wood line, like DauT didn't manage to go over to MBL's side until MBL was castellated pretty much. So MBL did a really good job with the execution to make sure DauT had to defend all game, and MBL's map didn't really come into play. So yeah, very, very good job by MBL, and yeah, looking forward to see how game 5 plays out without any vetoes. And I'm not sure, wait, maybe one of them has a restart left?
Let me try to remember. I think DauT has a restart left. I think that's it.
That's actually quite a big advantage heading into game 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you and I talked about MBL using the veto there, and I think it's a good call because he had he had a civ advantage, and you know, if he loses that game, it's over. But of course, DauT in the long run is holding a couple more cards than his opponent, so maybe we see DauT actually having an advantage here. Certainly, if DauT doesn't like his civ, he gets to re out of it. The tricky thing, Viper, is going to be if DauT gets a minor civ disadvantage and calls the re, it could be devastating if he gets a worse civ in the new map. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's going to be risky regardless, but like if he rolls, for example, Saracens against Mayans now, for example, he's going to thank the gods that he has a re, right?
Absolutely.
So just knowing you have that in your hand is a little bit comfortable, but of course, it's still random civ, anything can happen. And you always take that risk if you actually do the restart. You might even get a worse civ next game.
Yeah, guys, and I'll let you all know that we are running a little bit over here. The matches scheduled for 16 GMT are going to be delayed because, well, it's already 16 GMT. But we have a 5th and decisive game, so of course we got to figure out who's going to be in that 3rd place match. We'll start this one off once again, and I'll just say, Killer Arabia Cup, semifinal 1, best of 5. This is the decisive game, and DauT will call his re right away. Celts versus Portuguese, Viper, what do you think?
I don't agree with this re. DauT had 4 minutes to scout his map. His map is real good. I don't know why he didn't take those 4 minutes to actually scout around a little bit, because he has nice gold, nice stone, nice wood lines. I really don't agree with this restart that soon. Like, it's a civ disadvantage for sure, but with that type of map, I would probably want to play it.
Yeah, it's really going to be an interesting thing to look back on because we're going to re-roll the civs now and re-roll the maps, and God, DauT could get a terrible civ. He might out of a decent situation into a bad one, but I guess we'll see.
Indeed.
Very interesting. We'll see MBL and DauT once again. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I still don't understand. Like, it's the final game of the series. You have one restart. You have 4 minutes to scout your map, right? Why not take those 4 minutes? If you have an absolutely amazing map, the civ disadvantage is it doesn't really matter too much, because he doesn't know how MBL's map is either, right? Which I guess MBL's map could be amazing as well. So I mean, yeah, it's a little bit. It's very hard to make the right decision there, but personally, I would probably end up playing that map if I scouted.
I mean, you can at least. Usually with a 4-minute re, you can at least try to do something and try to, like, you know, DauT in this case has a re, MBL doesn't have a veto anymore. Scout around, see what your map looks like. If you want to get aggressive and try to steal something, you know, give it a chance. But DauT re's out quickly, and we'll launch again into the decisive game number 5.
Oh, God.
Nobody's got any re's left, and DauT is going to get Celts versus Saracens, Viper. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, my initial thought is that this is even a worse
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of a worse civ matchup even. But DauT, again, he does have a nice back gold, nice wood lines, but the same goes for MBL. Very nice wood, but MBL's map might be a little bit more awkward to play with his gold positions, just from first impressions.
Yeah, this is probably a little bit of the situation. MBL is saying you've only got yourself to blame. DauT can be okay here, but he is going to have to earn his keep trying to grab a win in this situation. Just quickly, I'll say, guys, it is the final game of this best of 5. It's Killer B. I'm joined by TheViper, and this is the semifinal match to determine who's going to go on to the third place match to play Hera and who's going to go on to the grand final to play against TheViper. Third place match will come right after these games finish, and I'll be joined by Zero Empires, and I'm looking forward to that. But for now, we've got one more matchup here. And Viper, you've had a second to look over the maps and the civs. Do you still think it's MBL's game to win here?
I mean, just purely looking at the civ, it's always going to be MBL's game to win, even regardless of the maps, I would say. But Saracens they have some versatility. They have tools up their sleeves. Can never rule them out. But Celts should have such an economic lead that he should dictate the early pace of the game. I think DauT will have to play really good, react really well, and make the right decisions throughout the whole game to actually pull this off. He also got some really far sheep that is might not even find, because they're so far up to the north of his town center.
Oh yeah, those sheep seem like they're way out in no man's land. I won't get you started on sheep ranting, but I know you don't love that sheep location, do you?
I don't. I honestly, even like the first starting sheep, I think just make them all spawn right under the TC for every civ. It's such a silly thing to have a disadvantage just because the other guy's sheep spawned close to their town centers and yours spawned further away, right?
Sure.
And especially when, yeah, those sheep are like, no one's going to scout that far for their sheep. So it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, DauT here is going to, for the moment, not have his sheep lamed by MBL, but those are so far from his TC that when DauT sees MBL scout, it might again be one of those situations where you say, well, I see MBL scout, I've looked in the obvious places for my sheep, I haven't found them. You might see DauT give up on scouting sooner than he should. His sheep are way up here, guys, in the north. Nonetheless, I'll quickly introduce the maps. We'll have 3 vills on wood for DauT as the Saracens, a back-ish gold for DauT, a pretty wallable backside of the map for Mr. DauT. Pretty wallable map in general for him. Lots of cliffs, lots of structure to work with. If DauT wants to close himself in, he should have a safe gold and a couple of safe stones. Safe-ish gold and a couple of safe stones. On MBL's side, we do have the Celts. He's got a pretty thin wood line, but he does have back berries behind it, a back stone pile if he wants to go into woads. A pretty wallable map for MBL, but he does have one hill that I would say is a bit awkward on the front of his base that he certainly needs to control in the mid-game. MBL already walling, maybe to think about posturing for his main gold. But I think it's a better map for DauT, but I think it's a fine map for MBL.
Yeah, they're both going to be pleased with their maps. As long as MBL secures that gold, he's not gonna have any issues there. MBL is, by the way, is trying to do the double delivery. That's gonna be interesting to see if he pulls that off. One of them ran off to the side now, so it might be a little bit awkward, but yeah, MBL is just playing super safe here. He has a great map with when it comes to wood and food. It's just the gold that he needs to secure. Oh, DauT found his sheep.
All right. DauT is proving me wrong at every juncture. He's microing well today, and he's not giving up on those sheep, which I thought he would. Those will be under the TC soon, and DauT will head forward to find MBL's base. As you said, MBL is doing some nice work to structure the front of that area. That's going to make his gold relatively easy to take. For the most part, it looks like it could be a very closed game, Viper. I think both guys can defend their map pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it will depend a little bit. I think MBL will just open mad arms here. It makes a lot of sense with Celts. And if he mixes in a spearman, which I assume he will because it's looking very much like DauT is want to go scouts, then like the man at arms spearman pressure against scouts is really hard to deal with very often. DauT needs to wall off the front of his map as well to make sure he's safe from that. Although he's going for gold now, or was it just a waller? Now I don't... What is this wall? Okay, I guess it's gonna wall from the gold to the house, and then from the house to the wood on the next to the mill as well. But I don't understand why not just wall between the trees, like on the left side, and also between the trees on with the gold.
Yeah, I'm with you there. DauT is a little conservative here with his wall, and of course that means that this gold is not going to be having any real breathing room Barracks is coming down for DauT. He is on the way to the feudal age on 20 vils. We will see DauT, by the looks of it, going for a stable play, but maybe. He's sending a couple vils over to gold.
And MBL is going for a forward here. 5 villagers coming forward with militia that are soon to be men-at-arms.
Okay, that's a bit surprising, don't you think?
I agree.
Go ahead.
It's I mean, DauT is also dropping ranges. It might be a very good thing for DauT here. It's going 21 pop. But what is his plan here? He doesn't have wood for any buildings after this. This is very strange. DauT, what is your plan here?
It's a very good point. DauT is lacking a lot of wood. I'm not sure what his plan is. He's scouting MBL side of the map a bit, but we're not seeing much from DauT. MBL is forward here just a tad early, so he's going to wait for his moment to shine. DauT sending more villagers over to gold. Still no feudal military building for DauT, but he will find MBL's forward vills.
I think DauT is going forward with those villagers now. It's so strange. And now he realizes MBL is forward, so he's going to back out. But DauT did pick off one villager from MBL on the left side. MBL was trying to finish that wall, and DauT scout was in the area, so he picked that one off. Honestly, this might turn into a good situation for MBL, DauT, I mean, because he can just drop a market now and use the market to buy stone for counter towers and just defend with a good economy. Like, he doesn't really need units, he just needs towers here.
DauT will immediately lose a couple hundred food on the berries, and MBL with some great scout blocking is going to get a villager from DauT here. Is he? Yeah, villager going down. Nice.
Very nice micro indeed. DauT's dropping a range now towards his wood line. He's going to wall again. Awkward walls and very late walls. Luckily for him, MBL is not investing into men-at-arms. MBL, if they got in there with men-at-arms, that would have been really painful for DauT.
Yeah, MBL, guys, is full walled behind this, so he is really, really defensively turtling up here after the initial push. MBL with 1 vill on stone, so maybe he's thinking about 1 more tower, but it's not going to be a long and fast tower push. I think it's just going to be 1 more tower for now.
Yeah, it's just a economic pressure build, pretty much. He wants to just deal some damage, force DauT to be on the back foot, and probably try to carry an advantage into a faster cast stage.
DauT drops down a second range as I'm fixated on the wolf killing a spearman up in the north. Always nice to watch that. DauT's in a lot of trouble here, Viper. What was on his mind? Why do you think he hit the feudal age without any wood? He was going forward?
I have no idea. He made a barracks and then a mining camp, so he couldn't afford to stay. I thought he was going scouts initially, based on his build, but then he dropped the mining camp after the barracks. If he didn't drop the mining camp, he could afford a stable, but he opted to not go for that. So yeah, I'm very confused as to what his... I guess he's just being indecisive, doesn't know himself what he wanted to do.
Maybe it's all part of DauT's plan. He wants to trick MBL into thinking he's indecisive here, but Archer's coming up for DauT. Double ranges, still has his gold safe, but here comes MBL with more towers. Go ahead.
If DauT sees that tower, which he does right now, MBL is completely unprotected there. He goes with the archers there. Oh, nice wall stuff from MBL. DauT's not reacting. He's busy microing with the men-at-arms, with the militia, I mean.
Yeah, MBL is probably happy to feed those men-at-arms to those archers, right? In order to get his tower up.
Definitely. And now DauT is going to see it, and that tower is also another one that's going to be super annoying to deal with for DauT.
DauT might even lose a villager as he retreats away from this, not running in zigzag pattern, so he is going to lose that vill at the bottom of the hill. As MBL gets a villager advantage now on DauT. DauT is going to have a chance, though, to push back out on MBL, but as we saw before, our player in green is fully walled up at home. So, well, almost fully walled up at home, not quite on the left side. But for the most part, those archers are going to have a lot of work to do without fletching to get in through the walls.
Indeed, he's not doing a blacksmith, he's actually doing a market, and he's putting villagers on stone. So we'll probably use those villagers to get stone and probably try to use the market to click up the cast stage. Right now, MBL is in a far superior position economically and everything. Oh, he's doing double bid axe now, though, but he is Celt, so that shouldn't have hurt too much. But yeah, I mean, while DauT might have the military edge now, MBL's looking super safe still, and he is his economy is looking very good.
It looks, for now, like MBL has an inside track to the grand final, but of course we're just 17 minutes into this game. DauT has a couple of tricks up his sleeve, I would imagine. A blacksmith coming for DauT. He's heavily over on stone, as the Viper said, so we can see some towers coming from the blue player. DauT, for now, is going to push on MBL's walls, forcing Mr. MBL to build a couple of towers in defense. There is a silver lining, I guess, of wasting a little bit of your opponent's stone in this situation, but MBL will add in an archery range, and as you said, MBL's eco should be quite sweet compared to DauT's.
Indeed, but I think DauT, honestly, with the market, if you can use the market properly here with the stone, and he can just balance the eco all through the market right now. He should be able to get to cast edge faster, but at the same time, I see MBL just walling up, placing towers, and he can just boom this game with Mangonel's defense. I think that might be MBL's plan here. He did do a range, but I don't see a reason for him to actually make units from it right now, because he is safe just with his towers.
Yeah, MBL's tower actually getting in a lot of damage on DauT before DauT retreats, but no archers are dead yet on that position. Green player MBL is still forward with some vills, but DauT is sneaking a couple vills up to the north. So keep an eye on those 5 villagers.
Oh, look at that market usage, though. Look at that market usage. He can now buy his way to Castle Edge if he wants to. He has 600 gold in the bank. He just needs to buy 300 food and he can pick up. I'm not sure why he's not doing it. There we go. One more, and then he's up. There we go. MBL is doing... Oh, MBL is doing wheelbarrow. He's adding skirms. He's doing fletching. He's investing all his food into army all of a sudden. This is suddenly starting to look good for Lord DauT.
It's been a series with a lot of back and forth. We've had a lot of good drama here. Maybe DauT is going to get a little advantage. We do have 5 vills coming forward for the player in blue. He's ready to drop some towers on his opponent by the looks of it. As you said, MBL spending a lot of resource there. And people in the channel can see 200 food for MBL, 400 gold. So not exactly in a good position to click up. He will drop a market of his own, but MBL will be quite a ways behind DauT to the Castle Age. And maybe DauT can bludgeon down these walls behind a tower and go for some crossbowman play here. Does DauT have anything else added in the mix? I think it's just 2 ranges, right?
Indeed. I think DauT, what he should do here is drop a siege workshop and a monastery forward. With the siege to add mangonels and the monastery to potentially convert knights/mangonels of MBLs. You can see the Saracen team bonus here of the taking damage to buildings faster with the crossbows. This is why MBL was forced to make so many units, because DauT was breaking through the walls so fast that MBL didn't feel safe anymore.
Saracen's OP confirmed, right?
Well, sure, why not?
MBL will get some nice counterplay with his skirms, whittling down the number of archers by a good amount, but now that DauT's tower is up, DauT is going to have a nice little foothold into MBL's eco. And we talked early in this game about the gold positions of MBL. That front gold is the gold that was supposed to be safe behind his walls. The extra golds are outside of the walls. He can still expand his eco there and try to hide in the fog of war. But DauT has some momentum here, hitting the Castle Age with crossbowmen and Bodkin Arrow coming.
Indeed, I think DauT did a little bit of a mistake, though, committing a little bit too much with his archers. He doesn't have the same amount of archers that will turn into crossbow now. He should have had a couple more, but he still has about 10, so he's also dropping a stable towards the middle of the map. So I'm not sure what the plan is with that, probably just to mix in a few knights. MBL is out of gold, though. DauT has scouted the other gold, and he's heading there with crossbows right now, so if he can get under that tower, then MBL is going to potentially take a lot of damage here.
Yeah, MBL with a nice quick wall, but he needs another panel of quick wall. Oh, no, he doesn't. There isn't a hole there. So MBL will get the walls done and push DauT away. Loses a couple vills, but a pivotal quick wall, huh?
Indeed. If DauT actually focused down the house, he could have broken there right away because of the Saracen team bonus. But he didn't think that through, I think. And DauT's going to continue to tower the woodlines of MBL. MBL has to shift his whole economy here.
Yeah, DauT with a really nice bit of counterplay. Went up to Castle Age a little earlier than his opponent. Was a couple steps behind in the Feudal Age, but now DauT with a little bit of map control, a couple of knights on the map, has some crossbows roaming around, and a couple of towers here and there. It's definitely turning in DauT's favor as MBL hits Castle. What's MBL's plan here, Viper? I don't see much, but does he have the stone for... well, he's going for TCs.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try to play the boom game, but look at DauT. He's dropping another tower on the gold MBL is using right now. He's also sending a knight in there. MBL does have 4 spearmen ready already, so he might upgrade even pikemen. He might play pikemen, elite skirmisher here and try to boom while defending, but his position right now is looking really, really awkward.
Yeah, the Celts versus Saracen matchup that MBL got what he wanted here in the last game, or he got at least a little bit of an advantage. Is not looking so great. All of a sudden, DauT is applying pressure on multiple fronts. He's being very annoying with several towers. DauT even taking a little bit of MBL's gold. Wood lines in the back are double-legged for MBL. Those are useless now. And MBL is going to, as you said, try to boom out of this, but it's probably worth looking at home to see what DauT's got. DauT's got 1 TC for now, so he's going to be invested, I guess, in the push for a little while.
Indeed, he has another tower coming up on the wood MBL has moved to next, so if he continues to drop towers around the woodlands of MBL is going to be... it's going to be struggling. He needs to get some siege out to be able to take out these towers, because, yeah, he's losing more and more space.
This is turning into a very sour position for MBL. He's having to tower up even more of his base, but of course those towers are not going to protect any gold. There's really actually no gold in sight for MBL that's going to be safe for the time being. DauT's even going to bludgeon down that tower that MBL had on that new gold pile. MBL is really in a lot of trouble here. We'll see if he can boom up a little, but he still does not even have a villager advantage now. Just now pulling ahead on Vils.
Indeed, MBL is more concerned right now with trying to stay alive as well. So, yeah, DauT is complete map controller. DauT adapted really well to what was going on. His opening was super confusing, but so far he's adapted really well. He's doing another tower, cheeky tower on the woodland of MBL, and yeah, where's MBL going to take wood right now? He has no options once that tower goes up.
MBL is in a world of hurt. TheViper dropping the Staying Alive, so I'll play a quick bit of the song for you guys.
That was totally not intentional.
Oh man, a consummate pro, a guy who I wanted to be bad at this so I could at least say I'm better at something than TheViper, but Staying Alive indeed is going to be important here for MBL. He's in a lot of trouble. MBL in the middle of the map with a couple Vils and a couple towers, but that doesn't seem to be working either.
Yeah, very, very rough position. I don't know why MBL didn't drop a siege push up earlier. Like, he needed, the only way to counter this was with his mangonels, but he delayed that way too long, and now he's in his hope might be to take stone to get a castle drop somewhere. That might be what he should... oh, he's actually selling stone for gold now, so I guess we're scratching that idea.
Well, MBL's going to have to be decisive over the next couple of minutes and try to make something happen. It seems like he only really has an opportunity to give one more effort to something, and whatever that's going to be is going to be basically his investment, win or lose. DauT here is in a great position. MB has to go for broke. Go ahead.
DauT just lost 4 knights to the spearmen of MBL in the front of MBL space. Very sloppy play, but he's going to clean the tower on his own woodline. He's also dropping his own monastery, a 3rd town center. DauT is just playing safe now. He's trying to take get his economy rolling, getting the relics, and trying to plan somewhat further ahead.
Yeah, DauT starting to solidify a nice economy back at home. Continues to have a military forward that is annoying his opponent. Continues to have towers that are giving MBL problems. MBL will get the siege workshop up, and we will see him probably sell a little resource for some gold to get a mangonel out. And that mangonel is going to the north. Go ahead.
Oh boy. There's a certain event that we're all very happy to see happen in every DauT game. I don't know if you're familiar with there's a certain structure that he likes to place in certain locations.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's something about to come up here.
Oh, TheViper with teasers even. You even got the teasing.
Is that? Look at that safe castle. That's not the DauT I know. He is taking this tournament serious.
Yeah, DauT has been playing really cautiously, pragmatically through this series. That castle it's not a ballsy castle, but it is a decent castle. But I think you probably wanted to see that a few panels closer to the gold and stone up there.
If this was a rated game that didn't have anything on that castle will be on the barracks of MBL. No question about it. It will be right on that barracks. But yeah, he's just playing safe. He's gonna control. Like, even though he doesn't reach the gold of MBL with that castle, he still kind of controls it because he can like create a ramp kind of for his own units close to the gold. So yeah, it's a very positional castle. I kind of like it, but at the same time, he could probably have gone a little bit more risky. But then again, we see everything. He does not see everything.
We see everything is true. Always have to keep that in mind. Of course, watching these players at the highest level, they do still make a couple mistakes here and there, and DauT's going to be fine with that positional castle, as you said. MBL's pikeman upgrade comes in now. MBL is he's been in trouble for a while in this game, but he's still alive. It is game number 5 for those of you guys who just tuned in. It's a best-of-5 series. These guys used all of their rees and vetoes in this case, and we are running a little late for the 3rd place match, but we will expect that after this game, no matter who wins. Go ahead.
MBL got a great trade there. 1 mangonel for nothing for DauT on the top side.
DauT still doesn't know about the wood line that MBL is using on the far top. If he sent his Mangonel there instead, he could have killed probably a couple of villagers, but seems MBL is going to regain the control right in front of his base to a certain extent. Of course, the castle there is always going to be a nuisance, but the tower is going down, and MBL might be able to take some gold again.
Yeah, let's look at resources. DauT at the moment is ready to click Imp resource-wise. MBL is already... no, MBL is not clicking Imp anytime soon. No food, no gold in the bank. So DauT is going to use the advantage that he's earned to go Imp sooner, and then maybe we'll see a little bit of siege under this castle to push in from DauT. Do you think that's the right call, Viper? Going Imp now?
Definitely. He's Saracens. He used the market again just to make sure he can get Imp fast, and with that castle up in that position, he can start trebbing down everything MBL has in that area, and all the golds of MBL are in that area as well. So MBL is dropping a TC on that gold, but I don't see that TC staying up for long.
Yeah, this position for MBL is in a lot of trouble. Of course, he knows about the castle because it's firing away at his house, but he doesn't know about DauT clicking up to Imp. DauT is going to grab Town Watch, Heavy Plow. MBL is going to push out with a couple of Mangonels and a couple of Pikes. But boy, MBL is going to have to get great value for those units because other than that small army, there's not a whole lot going positively for MBL.
Oh, wow. DauT actually reacted in time. MBL was trying to target fire with the Mangonels in the middle of the map, but DauT was able to actually dodge them just in time. Oh, DauT's doing a second safe castle. He's playing so safe. I mean, you can't blame him, but it's just we're not used to this.
Where's his second castle going? Is it... Oh, yeah, right next to the first.
Yeah. Super safe play. Oh, that Mangonel shot.
Oh, boy. Okay, and another glancing blow as those crossbows get out. So MBL does thin DauT's numbers by a lot. DauT with just 13 units now as he grabs ballistics.
Indeed, and DauT doesn't have armor upgrades for his crossbows at all. That was really unnecessary. He knows it's up to Imp. He just needs Arbalest and the 8 range, and he can take those Mangonels without losing anything. But yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Indeed. DauT here is going to have some nice resources. He's going to hit the Imperial Age. He'll have some nice tech advantages. But just 18 military for DauT, and most of that is in the form of crossbows, which are not necessarily going to push the Mangonels that easily. We will see. There's just 2 Mangonels left for the green player MBL. MBL seems to be reinvesting in Castle Age, so I think he's going to be stuck in Castle for a while, for better or for worse.
I think that might be a good decision by MBL as well. He knows that he needs to... I mean, if he can spread the map around... Right now, DauT wants to fight in one spot only. He only wants to fight next to his castles with trebuchets, with Arbalest. If MBL manages to expand economy and start making the action happen everywhere, then again, it will be a similar scenario to where MBL had Arbalest with the Ethiopians. The mobility just isn't there. But right now, DauT is trying to snipe the Mangonels with the Arbalest, now that he outranged them, and this will be just all about DauT micro right now.
Yeah, DauT is going to have to micro a little bit. Wants to send in the Knight to put down damage on the Mangos. DauT taking a decent Mangonel shot to the face there. MBL, though, is down to 1 Mangonel left, and now it's 0 Mangonels left. And now MBL is in retreat. He does have another Mangonel coming from the Siege Workshop, but that position is really falling apart for MBL.
Indeed. DauT needs to get armor upgrades though for his Arbalest. MBL is making elite skirms forward. He also has about 7, 8, 9 elite skirms at his base with a ram. But I don't see that as enough to actually break the 2 castles of DauT in his face.
In his face. DauT here with a few less villagers than MBL, but he does have the Imperial Age. He is pushing his weight around and making MBL basically retreat to a smaller and smaller part of the map. DauT is going to continue to expand all around the map. He's taking extra gold piles everywhere. Really, almost every single extra gold pile. DauT has at least a few villagers on. This is going to be an incredibly difficult situation for MBL to come back from.
Indeed, he's still fully committed to Castle Age. I mean, his population is looking very healthy, but it's just the position, right, where he doesn't have access to any gold. He's bringing back 12 pikemen that he forgot in the right side of the map. But then again, it's a pikeman, and DauT has Arbalest. It's not even well upgraded pikeman. Skirmishes are fully upgraded, though, in Castle Age, so they might be able to trade well here, since DauT has no armor upgrades, but DauT can just always run back to his castles. DauT's even trying to mix in some Mamelukes. Skirmishes do pretty decent against Mamelukes though, so it's not necessarily too bad.
MBL taking a lot of damage from these 2 castles on his group of skirms. He just lost 5 or 6 skirmishers there, which makes his position even less comfortable than it was before. DauT continues to expand around the map with more resource gathering. We are seeing DauT getting closer to being full boomed on 105 Vils. MBL, as you guys can see, 300 food in the bank, 180 gold. He's really committed, probably, if he loses, to the bitter end, to being in Castle Age and making something happen. But, of course, when you commit to that Castle Age play, you want to at least have the military lead. MBL does by a smidge, but DauT's got a pretty high-quality military now.
Indeed, MBL also he sent about 10 elite skirms running straight through down starting town center. He didn't fight at all, he just ran straight down and lost 10 skirms for nothing. It was very strange. DauT's playing very safe, as we know. He's using the 3 traps to clean up MBL's forward, just to make sure that DauT doesn't have to deal with that, and so it's not a nuisance as the game goes on. But as you said, DauT has complete map control. MBL is boxed into his little wood lines there, like between his forests, and yeah, I mean, his population is almost a 200 pop, which is very good, of course, but it's what the pop is in, right? It's elite skirmishers and pikemen.
Yeah, we're even seeing a couple of Mamelukes being added into the mix. Looks like Mamelukes and Arbalest for DauT. DauT is going to have still those 3 trebs alive, actually 4 trebs on the front. A couple stables coming for DauT. DauT is looking to twist the knife. He's looking to finish this game off and punch his ticket to the grand final. MBL is just trying to stay alive, trying to tread water and survive. Here comes MBL with a big push. This could be the very end of this game. DauT will come forward with some Vils and stonewall out most of that push. DauT not finishing the wall yet, but there you go. Rams coming from MBL as well, and we will see if MBL can get down one of these castles.
Yeah, there's 2 more ramps at the Siege Workshop on the top that MBL hasn't noticed. He has about 7-8 ramps in total if he uses everyone. All the army is very, very vulnerable though, and will fall flat to the castles and the Arbalest. But at least one of the castles should go down here, because DauT doesn't really want to fight and take inconvenient trades here. So, we had a lot of Arbalest in the other castle as well.
Yeah,
One of the castles should go down, but what about the next castle? I don't see him breaking that.
Yeah, the Mameluke number seems to be high enough to deny the Rams to get in, and all of that trash that MBL had here is now all of a sudden cleaned up. 30 military total. MBL can try again with another push as he pulls the Rams out, but MBL's initial big push there gets 1 castle, but not both. Would have been a really crazy moment if MBL got both. I think getting 1 tells MBL to play on a bit longer. What do you think, Viper? How close is MBL to calling GG here?
I think MBL is looking at his population and thinking, okay, I'm going to keep playing. My population is still looking good. I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of production going. He can keep playing. But of course, he knows he's in a tough spot. And yeah, like I said, if that second castle also got taken down, then it would still have been a game again. But yeah, he's going to go again. MBL doesn't have a choice. This is what he has to do. He cannot transition to Imperial Age, so he has to make these kind of plays. And yeah, he's still fighting on, which as he should, because it's the potential last game. Well, it is the last game. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got 130 Vils for MBL. He can definitely repopulate that army. He's sending in the Rams again, but DauT is waiting for him with Mamelukes. The Mameluke number is now up to about 8 or 10. So that makes MBL's Rams a lot less scary in this situation. The Trash Army, as you said before, not doing so great against Arbalest and Castle, Arrowfire, and Arambai. DauT's still with those 4 traps.
Rambai?
Rambai. Oh, Mamelukes. It's been a long day already.
Yeah. I wish it was a Rambai.
Those Mamelukes are chewing down the Rams, and the castle is going to stand here.
Yeah, I mean, MBL's doing a pretty good job at trading units here, but of course it's always going to be not cost efficient in the long run. And yeah, there we have it.
There we have it. A full 5-game set, a really great competitive set of matches that went back and forth, and at the end of it, it will be MBL forcing DauT, or rather, neither player having a re-left, forced to play Celts versus Saracens, and DauT with a couple of weird choices early, didn't have the wood for a building to start the Feudal Age. We were kind of looking at, wow, is DauT falling apart for a moment there? But as you said before, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And DauT grabs a win. Any final thoughts here, Viper, on this game?
Just super confusing, but great adaptation, I guess, in the end by DauT. But of course, the opening is it's just a big question mark for me. I have no idea what he was trying to do initially. I'll have a chance to ask him though at some point, so I'm sure I'll figure out. But yeah, I mean, DauT adapted great. He really applied good pressure on top of MBL's weakness in his map, and yeah. It was just very well executed.
Yeah, and I guess we will look forward to you taking on DauT in the grand final a little bit later on today. Any words to your opponent? You want to strike some fear in the heart of DauT while you have a chance here on the channel?
I don't need to strike fear. Yeah, I mean, it's DauT. It should be pretty simple, but.
Ooh, okay, a little vote of confidence from the
I
Viper.
I really hope he has the stream on right now. I would like that now. But I mean, it's gonna be a tough match. I know DauT is super motivated to win, so. But I'm quite happy that I'm gonna face DauT in the final. It was kind of a dream final for me anyway, so.
All right,
so I'm happy about that.
The dream has become a reality. We've got the finals set and the third place match set.
Oh, he's in chat. He's in chat. Hello, DauT.
Oh, hey, we got to pull him in here. Where is he? Oh, he's in your channel.
Oh yeah, he's he's in your channel.
Oh, okay.
Chat.
Ah, okay. Maybe we can get a few words from DauT here in a moment. MBL can stay in the game room if he's around. We will look for Hera for the third place match to start soon. We'll get Zero Empires in. We got a whole bunch of stuff. But if DauT, if you want to click the Discord